take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Una Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Una Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments, deposit at a bank, and withdraw from any Una branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Una Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Una Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Una Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hassle of traditional banking. Uno Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Welcome back to our show. It's another Thursday, and we are back here in our studios to look at what is trending. Of course, what is trending is Gala, EFSTH, and of course, Team Gumsaboba, the PURA Data Floor protesters who were arrested and detained by the police. Some were sent to the Madi Central Prison by Magistrate Ture of the Kanifing Magistrates Court. But of course, the legal team had a motion filed, and of course the magistrates sat yesterday on Wednesday, and the detainees, 23 of them were granted bail, and thank God they are all back home. Guys, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How come there was no lady? But there's this lady though, Bintas Jadama. Kadi ame flag.
Wow.
Kadi.
Yes.
I really want to meet that.
One you, Mila.
Strong woman, yeah.
Every protest. But first I want to start with Madi. Madi, how are you feeling? Because we all saw pictures of you, the protest, the day the boys were arraigned in court, and you were tear gas and you were at the hospital. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. I'm feeling fine. Yeah.
You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. And maybe just to give thanks to Alaji Sanyang and Tijan Babu Jau and Pamara Jaude, because they rescued me.
How did it happen? How did it happen?
Yeah, so at the front of the magistrate's court, on the right flank, I mean, I was having an interview, or maybe it just ended, and so I was standing there. I think these folks were, on the right in front there on the ground. Yeah. So I wasn't even aware that there was a tear gas going on, because normally I think tear gas is like is shot from a gun, like canisters, and then smoke flows. But this guy seems to have a spray, like somebody fumigating something. So I'm not sure many people realize this is where it will come from. So it may have taken many people by surprise. And for me, I think it was pretty close to me also, sort of. I mean, so from my behind, from my back, I just started to feel something burning. Yeah. So before I put things together, I think I had taken pretty much of it. And of course, by then also I saw folks running, dispersing, helter skelter. So I moved towards KMC Gate. I think by the time I got to that point, I was, my chest was like, fire inside my chest. I mean, and my eyes. So I was nearly going on the ground. I mean, I just saw some people grab me, and I didn't even recognize who they were, and I had voices. And the next moment, I was just being pushed into a vehicle, and so I think I got to know Alaji himself was there when we were almost near, close to Westfield. So I was picking who was in and so on. Yeah, but and at Westfield, I was in a room with, two others, ladies. I don't know them. And one of them, I think, was in a more severe condition. And I feared she might die, actually, where she was breathing. And and only to realize this lady actually came to a pharmacy to buy drugs. So pharmacy probably close by.
Yeah.
And then she happened to get get the tear gas, inhale the tear gas, and that's where she collapsed, and they had to carry her. So which is another whole issue to talk about. I mean, the deployment of tear gas, the use of tear gas
on citizens,
and so on. But I'm fine. I had immediate response. And
we'll definitely come back to that incident. First, let's start with what really happened at PURA on Friday.
Yes.
You guys, this was just a spontaneous protest, just to go and read a petition to express frustration about what was happening.
Yes.
Right? What happened when you guys got there?
Yes. Actually, when we first arrived around traffic light, just around the petrol station, there's a right there, the new OIC road, just on the right there. Some people were there, some of the leaders were talking to the police, higher command, actually Sanyang and co. I think he's chief superintendent, so he's quite a high-ranking officer. And we had managed to forge some dialogue, and I believe Madi was there. And we had managed to get some dialogue and some understanding that, look, this is not a protest in the sense of a procession from A to B. It is a protest in the sense that we want to assemble there, gather there, and then have our petition read out and given. And then it was understood, we thought that everything was fine, having spoken to them. And that they knew that we were there for just a few hours and to read out this petition and to bring it to them. When I arrived at PURA, so we left from there, people were moving separately. We never processed from there to PURA because we were very careful not to do that. In fact, myself in particular, was telling everybody to move 1, 2, not more than around 3, from where they are to the venue. When we arrived there, we saw, oh, wow, PURA had dispersed all their parking lot for us. And to be fair to PURA, whenever you go to talk to them, they open their doors. I'm definitely protesting against their price floor.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people that I will say the truth. So I felt, wow, this is great. PURA, because I always complain, these are the cars that our monies are going into, poor people are still suffering. What services are we getting? But this is where our monies are going to, these vehicles, these expensive cars. So the place was vacated for us to occupy there, and we occupied that place, albeit everything was going. We started delivering our speeches. I was actually about to read out the petition. That is when the police, Sanyang himself, this time his face was changed. He started pushing, and actually I got to the point of even telling him, you are pushing us towards the road. Do you want us to be hit by the traffic? I felt as a security officer that was very dangerous of him. But I was still talking to him. But before the pushing started intensifying, we were discussing and started highlighting segments of the Public Order Act. If you observe in some of the video, I was trying to explain to them, this is what the Public Order Act is saying. Like, we cannot process. Yes, we are not going to process. We are here to actually come together read out our petition, and hand it over. And in fact, Section 25 of the Constitution, subsection 1F, is pretty much saying every citizen has the right to petition the executive, telling them that what we are doing is lawful. You know the slogan, we are lawful, we are legal. So we were telling them that this is a lawful protest. It's not an unlawful one. We are not processing. We are not using loudspeakers. Those are the two things, subsection 6 of the Public Order Act. But unfortunately, everything got out of hand as soon as SAR came into the picture. He came in there, he started berating his own officers, threatening them literally to manhandle us. And that transfer of aggression resulted in, you know, you could hear him, arrest him, arrest him, arrest that guy, arrest that guy. So all the officers had to run around, look for somebody to arrest before they fall into SAR's bad books. So we were arrested unceremoniously, and in something which I believe, to be fair, I believe PURA was ready to accept our petition. Because as a journalist, I had already started engaging them. I went with a team of media. We were talking to PURA, although we did not like the responses we were getting. So we knew that, I said, you know what, it's no longer time for me to, it's time for me to get to the activism. So unfortunately, we all saw what happened. They arrested us that day and started throwing about 19 of us behind bars. And then everything went awry from there on. So
you guys were detained.
We were detained.
Omar, why do you think it was important for Gala, Team Gumsa Bopa, and of course EFSS to come together and go to PURA to read out a petition? You have said this, a lot of this on social media. Madi has called them, have written statements. Other people have written statements. Why was it important to go to PURA and read a petition to them?
So, thank you very much. Sorry, I lost
you have lost your voice.
I don't know whether I am audible enough.
Yes, I think we can.
He was leading a huge chance yesterday.
Yeah.
From Gala, Team Gumsa Bopa, and Reverend Small Cent, we understand that there is power when we unite. There is power in unity. So because in as much as we are different organizations or different movements, but we have a common interest.
Yeah.
That interest is to serve the needs and aspirations of the Gambian people, to advocate for a just and a corrupt-free society. So that being the case, we have to come together as when people forget about the movement that we come from. So when you are in there, maybe Gala was taking the lead or the media was taking Gala as the pioneers. But Team Gumsa Bopa came with the idea first. So Gala was, okay, let's join and show solidarity to our comrades in Team Gumsa Bopa, and we lead the protest. So it is because we believe in the unionism that Team Gumsa Bopa came up with. So we also have to embrace the idea so that we can come together and protest and do it and do a massive protest that people are not going to say, okay, it is Gala or it is Edward Francis Small or it is Team Gumsa Bopa. So it is going to be a Gambia. So that is why it was very important for Gala, Team Gumsa Bopa, and Edward Francis Small Center came together to have this protest done. So you can see even those that were arrested, we have some that are Gala members, we have some that are Team Gumsa Bopa members. So that is to say that it is not only Team Gumsa Bopa or it is not only Gala that were leading it. Just like I said, Team Gumsa Bopa initiated the protest. They called us for a meeting. Our people, our delegates went to meet Team Gumsa Bopa and they discussed, they agreed on the terms, and we all agreed that people are going to go out on this particular day to PURA, just like what Flex said. We're not going to be in procession. We're just going to occupy a public building or a public institution like we did at the court. We are not moving from one place to another. So it's because we are united and we believe that it's only in unity that our voices are going to be heard. That is why we came together as one people to meet at PURA to advocate for the floor expense of the mobile data. So it's because of the unity. That is why we came together.
Madi, he said something. He said for us to have a just and corrupt-free society, we need to come together. That is very important. Just and why do we need a just and corrupt-free society? But also, one thing, when I hear these young people speak, it just moves me because it looks like a new Gambian is emerging. A Gambian who is not scared to die, a Gambian who's not scared to go to Mile 2. I made this post yesterday on my page. I said the president should be concerned that the Gambian youth are not scared to go to jail. Because that is the only reason that stops everyone going out. And it looks like the revolution that has been going around the sub-region, the people getting empowered, knowing that, look, we have to go to jail before we can liberate our people. It looks like it has come to Gambia. You being in this your entire life, when you hear people like them speaking like this, how does it do to the cause that you've been fighting for all these years?
Jubilation. Celebration. I mean, the dream is coming true, but it is not just important when it says a just and corrupt-free society. This goes to the heart of independence. It goes to the heart of anti-colonialism. It goes to the heart of governance. It goes to the heart of development. It goes to the heart of peace. Because when you say a just society, justice is about rights. Justice is about equality.
Yeah.
Justice is about opportunity. Justice is about freedom.
Yeah.
Yes, justice is about getting services from the taxes that you pay. So justice is peace. You hear there's no peace without justice. So the whole idea of us fighting for independence is to get justice, to get a just society. So that justice is about dignity, that we are no more colonized people, oppressed people by foreigners, treating us as second class in our own country. This is why we fought for independence. We rule ourselves. So justice is about self-determination. Now, when you understand justice, then you realize when we say good governance, it's about justice. Yes, people get opportunities that they should have, equality before the law, the rule of law being respected, and so on and so forth. When you talk about development, whether, it's opportunities in terms of access to goods and services, it's justice. Everybody wants electricity in his or her home. Everybody wants secure communities, well done paved communities, streets. So that is, development is justice. Because international law has defined development as a human right. And human rights produces justice. You see, so we have to understand what justice means. And in the first place, therefore, why did we gain independence? When we say good governance, the Constitution, what is it trying to deliver to us? Justice. Then when you say a corrupt-free society, which is also a product, an outcome of justice, corrupt-free, what does corruption do? It denies resources that should go to a hospital for our mothers, our women to deliver, children to live beyond 5 years, to not to die from preventable diseases. All right, it's so that we get the quality products, goods and services, whether it's roads, education, healthcare, whether it's sporting facilities or and decisions are taken in a way that they are transparent, that there's accountability, so that there's no mismanagement, embezzlement, or diversion of public funds, public resources to benefit a few against the majority. Yes. That kind of corrupt-free society. This has been our challenge since 1965. We are unable to get it, and because of that lack of justice and the presence of corruption, Fatou, is the only reason, nothing else, is the only reason there is poverty in the Gambia. There is deprivation and inequality and all this mess. Look at your neighborhood. Anyone, look at your coin, the streets, and it is not like there is no money here. The money is here.
You can build
I have said this over and over. Gambia has enough resources. We don't even need foreign aid. We have the resources here. We have the potential to generate wealth here. All right? So that from Banjul to Fatoto, every public school will be air-conditioned classrooms. Primary schools, secondary schools, universities would be air-conditioned classrooms equipped with modern gadgets, television sets for teaching and learning. Every health center from Banjul to Fatoto would have air-conditioned wards, modern equipment, health equipment. All right, every street, in every village and every town, we have the resources to pave them with proper drainage, with street lights, with traffic lights, with road markings. The resources are here. We have the potential to generate an economy that would have taken Gambia at the level of a first world country like Singapore or Sweden. We have those resources, and I challenge any government official to come and tell me Gambia does not have that, and you invite us here to deal with that. The only reason we don't have it, we are in this poverty, we are considered a least developed, highly indebted, corrupt, and impoverished nation, is simply because of the corruption and injustice perpetrated by who? By our elected and appointed public officials. They are elected and appointed, paid well, pampered with all incentives and benefits you can imagine, like a minister having a $12 million vehicle, and they don't do their work. And then they plunder our resources. Yeah, Jammeh bought a tent, $88 million. It is standing at a state house right now.
Yeah.
For their comfort to go and sit and have a meeting in an air-conditioned tent.
44, 88.
In the urgency of our poverty and everything, you cannot think of anything for your comfort. You go and buy a tent at $8 million. You go and buy a vehicle at $12 million. And the examples are too many. Why? You cannot run proper electricity for our country. By now, this country should have 24/7 uninterrupted electricity, water supply. Even ferries, you cannot run it. We create companies like Gamcell. You are running it down. Somebody comes and create QCell or AfriCell, and they are making profit.
Yep.
And you are running down. You create ports. We put ports there. You run it down. You plunder it. Somebody come and take it over. Within 1 month, they are making profit. So this blatant abuse by our elected and appointed public officials, the president, ministers, parliamentarians, permanent secretaries, directors, these are the enemies of the Gambia. They are the ones since independence plundering this country. And so we have to go into a second independence struggle. A second struggle for liberation. And that is a liberation against our local oppressors, exploiters. This is why I set up Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice.
Yeah.
I was there with you to tell you, Fatou, for the past 34 years, there is nowhere in this country I have not gone for a meeting, from State House in Banjul to Basse Area Council. 1920, Edward Francis Small said, no taxation without representation. Because our people do not elect their own representatives to decide our tax money in 1920. It was these Europeans who were there plundering us, disrespecting us in our own land. That fight is what gave us independence eventually. So we today in EF Small Center, we say no taxation, no representation without delivery of quality public service to our people. So a second struggle, and this is what is manifesting across Africa. And the youth of the Gambia, I am so elated that we have Team Gomsabopa, we have Gala, youths that realize that the independence struggle of EF Small to Jawara and PSJ and all the others is not complete. And it has to be completed so that we have economic independence. They gave us political independence. We now need economic independence, social independence, technological independence. And so Gambia should be manufacturing its own phones today. Gambia should be manufacturing its own aeroplanes today. Gambia should be manufacturing its own vehicles today. If our independence, that was that just and corrupt-free society, if we had created that from 1965 to date. So this is what is at play now, and I want all Gambian youths to take example of Team Gomsabopa and Gala and join them or form similar organizations, but refuse the narrative that is on the table. Refuse it. Because you look at PURA, what PURA was set up in 2001. But since GSM companies came to this country, they have been scamming Gambians. All right? We go and buy credit to call a line, it is cracking.
All the time.
And we just say, it's network better.
Call drops.
All right?
And you still get charged.
You pay, go and buy data. You want to download a video, upload a video, watch anything, it is running and
round and round.
Why? Because GSM companies, in the meantime, you have paid. They refuse to invest in infrastructure
Yes.
to give us excellent service. And for that matter, PURA was created so that these people create the necessary infrastructure to give us excellent service, knowing that internet is political, is economic, is social, is cultural, because internet facilitates everything.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right? PURA refuses to do that, allowing these GSM companies defrauding Gambians, taking our money and not giving us our value for money since 2001 to date. Now they have the audacity to tell us, in fact, their price cannot go that low.
Just
Why
when we
not?
started enjoying.
So this injustice and this corruption, he said it well.
Yeah.
This is it. So anyone who understands this, this is the whole crux of the matter. This country, since independence to date, it's been living on injustice and in corruption. That is what Gambia has been surviving on. Injustice and corruption perpetrated by public officials. And it is high time they are confronted. Yes.
And I want to read something, Omar, that a colleague of yours, Gato Pen, wrote today, and I saw it very important, and I reproduced it on my page. He said, and then we must stick together. No more than ever, 100%. The shittism is pushing hard to divide us, to break us. It won't work. Our country is in a mess. We need to sanitize it by igniting the spirit of revolution in the streets.
Yeah.
He said, let it be known that PURA must reverse their reckless decision for the common good. But this sentence, our country is in a mess, and we need to sanitize it by igniting the revolution on the streets. That is powerful.
So I mean, when you look at the whole write-up, you understand that Ghetto is trying to portray our current realities. Okay, people might think, okay, everything is fine. I can go to bed and wake up. Some of the people that went to protest at PURA, even if the internet is $1,000 per gigabyte, they can afford it. But how many people are out there that cannot afford that gigabyte, that megabyte to browse? That's like what Uncle Madi said. Exactly. Internet is everything. It has to do with our lives. As far as we said, we are living in a global village. We obviously need this technology to be able to be aware of what are the current happenings in the world. What can we do about it? Our economic life depends on it. Our social life depends on it. Our political lives depends on it. So just like what Gateway said, the country is in a mess. And there is time for us to sanitize that mess, because just like I said previously, that we cannot afford to be asked the question that our fathers cannot answer for us. We cannot afford that. If my child asked me, what were you doing when things were going wrong? What am I going to tell him or her? So that is something that people have to bear in mind, that if they are to ask you that question, if you cannot answer that, you are a failure to the society. You are a failure to the generation that you even bear. So we cannot afford to be living in that mess. So there is high time for us to sanitize that mess. Just like I said, jail cannot stop us. Torture cannot stop us. Killing us cannot stop us. There is one thing that the revolution must leave, and there is nothing that can stop the wheel of revolution from turning. In as much as things are going right, people are not going to revolt. Revolution came because things are going in the wrong direction, and people have to stop it. That thing must come to an end. So if you believe in that, you will obviously fight, not for your sake, but for the people that are coming after you. The fight is not for us to realize it today, but we can fight for a better society, for a just society in the future. That our children can live a dignified life, our children can live in a corrupt-free society, our children can live from abject poverty, our children can live in a society that respects human rights, our children can live in a society that they can have access to everything that they need to grow. But if that is not the case, the struggle will still continue.
You know, Flex, on Thursday, you guys announced you were going to go out.
Yes.
This was not anything that was planned.
Yes.
The police issued a statement.
Yes.
They said they have not issued any permit. A lot of your critics said, if you must protest, you must have a permit. And that is why some people said the police were right to arrest you. And one thing that stood out when the police tried to arrest you, when that I don't know what his name is, I think the SAR guy,
yeah, SAR.
came and said you were here illegally.
Yes.
Killer A said we are legal, we are lawful.
Yes.
And that exchange caught everybody's attention.
Indeed.
Because at this day and age, a lot of the Gambian people know their rights. They know what the law says about assembly and all.
Yes.
But the police maintain that because they did not issue a permit, you should not have been there. Why did you guys go to those critics who said you should not have been there?
Yes. You know, your rights will never be given to you on a silver platter. That's why I'm very much in line with what Ghetto has said in there. You know, you must take your rights, seize it within the limits of the law. We are still trying to make sure that the Public Order Act is even better than what it is right now. Because if you go to Section 5, it says you want procession, you must. It's part of sensitization, right? You are not going to sit down and then, if we want PURA's price floor to go to be removed, it's not sitting at home and just writing on social media that's going to make that happen. All right? So we believe that sometimes we need to take the right step. We need to go and petition. And in fact, what we were doing, Section 25, subsection 1, says you have the right to petition the executive. Go and check it. For those who are using their phones, who are close to a constitution, they can go and check it. So we feel that if you observe, we were not only sensitizing the public, even the police themselves were sensitizing them, that they should know the courts. They should know the Public Order Act. This is why when we challenge them, if you pay attention, because of I'm not the loudest, but when it comes in that particular position, I was asking them, you are arresting us based on what law? None of them can answer. Even SAR himself, he cannot say. And in Gambia, they arrest you, they don't tell you why you are being arrested. You know when you are being arrested, when they take you to the police, and then somebody else will be the one to whisper, almost all of us that were being charged, you got your charge, the guy who is writing your charge, he will ask somebody else, hey, what
are you charging them?
Yes, what do I write here? Any of my colleagues will tell you. They don't even know what to charge you with. So they are just following orders like we used to say. What has changed? Orders from above. You know, we're still living in that day of orders from above. And in fact, there is interference in our case. If we were arrested, where we were, Kairaba, Kairaba police station, they're the ones who are supposed to decide our case. But guess what? The police themselves tell you, this one is above us there. We are waiting for orders. We're waiting for orders. No, nobody can go there. No, we cannot tell you anything now until when we get instructions. Even when they offered us police bail and we refused, they had to go back, tell their bosses, right, that they refuse bail. So then their bosses will now come again and decide, okay, now this is what you have to do. You see, so, and I really want to highlight SAR. He is a major, major reason things have got to the point of where they are now. And he needs to be very careful because there's a lot of revelations going out about SAR and his behavior. This is exactly the kind of security officers that we need weeded out if we are serious about security sector reforms. I was there when SAR stormed in with Ghetto Pen and 3 others, Musa Sanyang and some others, brought them in there. When SAR came to Kairaba police station, everything was fine. Me and some of the other guys, we were there. Everything was calm and, you know, stable. But SAR walked in, started abusing his own police officers. SAR does not, this is a repeated trend. We all saw how he treated the RSM. And how is that officer supposed to continue doing his work when he is being belittled by his superiors like that?
In front of people.
So when SAR came in there, he had Ghetto Pen and another in cuffs. He intentionally puts protesters who are not violent, who are not pushing and pulling with him, he puts them in cuffs. So he got his guys to put them in cuffs. He was there shouting orders, barking to the police officers at the Kairaba police station, being very abusive to them. You're on your phone, insulting, abusing them. Not only that, he forced Ghetto Pen and the 3 of them to open up their mobile phone. And I'm going to expose this. I'm doing this to expose SAR.
Yeah.
We're going to expose him starting from today.
Yeah.
Force them to open up their phone with their fingerprint. Because of the way he was intimidating everybody. He told them, open up your phone, open up your phone. When they opened up the phone, he was ranting, talking about 360 plus some of the videos which he did. I think he was trying to find the videos that perhaps that these are the guys who were sending videos to 360. So now, when he got the phone, he said, yes, this is evidence. And I was just thinking, evidence for what? You are a police officer. Don't you know that you've just violated this guy's right?
Right, yeah.
And then now you are saying that this is what you want to tender in as evidence. Are you okay? I was just in the cell. But thank God. You know, it's good sometimes, a blessing in disguise to be in this situation.
Yeah.
I was just observing. Not knowing, at that moment, he actually got us to leave there and then go onto the their van.
Yeah.
He came in with his guys. And to be honest, I shouldn't call these police officers. These for me are thugs. The way that they were behaving like thugs. Forced us in the van. When we were in the van, we also had our ordeal. But one of our colleagues, who together was with us, SAR, and I'm going to expose him. SAR threatened him that he would put him in the cell and torture him and that nothing will come out of this. Does SAR know that we have a Prevention and Prohibition of Torture Act?
Yeah, we do.
SAR better be very careful, and we will make sure that we continue to expose him. You know what SAR did? When we were in the back, SAR now, he was there patrolling like a lion, going around, angry, very angry, because of he has the power, isn't it? His guys are there, and they've got all these other guys. They were in handcuffs whilst he was forcing them to open up their phones and looking through their phones and trying to get the pictures or whatever to, I don't know what evidence on what he wanted to charge them.
Is this the reason why we saw screenshots, conversations of the Gala group on Babakar Baham's Facebook page?
It might be.
Because we saw it.
You see?
We saw it. We saw it. Conversation from members of the Gala. So could this be a reason?
I won't be surprised.
How would they have access to that?
I won't be surprised.
Because he's an agent of the people that expose anybody that's against the government.
Now, you see, that's why such allegations
I just wanted to throw that there because I saw that.
Yeah. This is the thing. This guy is threatening to torture people. And when they put us in the back of the van, we were actually in the middle of talking to our lawyer because Jay Dabo had sent some people to take some information with us. But before they started trying to get us to leave the station to get into the van, I asked them, where are you taking us? Because you cannot just take us anywhere.
Yeah.
And me, I'm not scared. You cannot just take me from one police cell to another police cell. So I asked them where they were taking us. So eventually they have to tell us that they are taking us to Bakoteh Police. So we went there. We went and we sat in the back. And then our lawyers, Jay Davos people were there taking notes, trying to get our information. And then SAR came there. He was trying to tell the vehicle to move unceremoniously. Then another senior officer from Kairaba was trying to tell the police, hey, where are you going? Wait, these people are talking to their lawyers. So, and then whilst we were there, you see all the police started crowding. His SAR and his men, they wear this mask. These PRU officers need to be clearly identified. We have a problem. These people think that they can escape and torture us and do human rights violations because of the way they dress, because of the way they wear their masks. Then they don't have anything identifying them. Then they wear their glasses. This is like they are trying to behave like junglers. They are nothing like junglers. Let me tell that to them. We were at the back of the pickup trying to talk to the lawyer. And I was there, and this police officer, I told him, can you please give us some privacy? Let us talk to our lawyers.
Yeah.
What is this? So fine, they put us down there. Eventually, SAR got his way to force us to say, let's go. So SAR intimidates not only the public, he intimidates senior police officers. Because that first time when we came, RSM said he is not a junior police officer.
Yeah.
Then Sanyang, who we were trying to talk to, and some of the other senior police officers, we were actually, okay, they were pushing us, but you could see that we were having some dialogue. They were not saying arrest us. They were trying to disperse us, which is what they were doing as much as possible without even getting to the point of arrest us. So SAR has this habit. As we were in the back of the van, his guys were sat on the van, 3 of them. There were, I believe, 5. I was taking count. 1 was a female. She was in the back of the van. Then there was one in the middle. So as the van was moving, this guy started, 2 people were in front of me. So I was sat like this with another guy, handcuffed with another guy. And another guy was sat there, same, handcuffed with another guy. This police officer started squeezing the handcuffs of the 2 guys in front of me, squeezing them, literally torturing them. This is torture that is happening in Gambia here. He squeezed this other guy's handcuffs. He squeezed the other guy's handcuffs, 2 of them. And I'm looking at him, I could not bear it. I told him, what are you doing? These are Gambians, brothers and sisters. Why are you torturing them? The guy looked at me without saying a word, reached to my hand, squeezed my own cuffs. Yes.
Just so I can do it for you.
Yes, put one in it. It's the same attitude, it's the same behavior they are getting from their superior, who is Sar, who just came out from there threatening one of ours that he would put you in there, torture you, and nothing will come out of it. So this guy started squeezing my handcuffs. But me, I cannot accept, I could not entertain it. This was getting too much. I told him off. I told him, you don't have any right to do this. What is this? The first time I told him off was when I saw he was doing it to 2 people right in front of me. You cannot do that in front of me, and I'm not going to say anything. If you want, take us and do whatever you will. But we're going to stand and defend our rights. When they took us to Bakote, we were displaying there. I forced the police station officer there to take a complaint, made a lot of noise, displayed there, until they made sure that they refused to take a complaint. I told them, yes, you have brought me, I'm here to complain. And the officer is standing right there. I don't want him to escape. Take his name. That is the officer, and you have to take my complaint. The SO, you know, the police, they always support each other.
Yeah.
She did not want to take it was a female.
Yeah.
Right, she did not want to take, she was the superior officer there. She did not want to take the complaint. But I kept persisting, I kept complaining until National Human Rights Commission came. National Human Rights Commission came, they took my complaint, and then I was not happy with that. I said that the police officer, this is a police station. I was brutalized. You've allowed the police officer to escape. I told you that that's the officer. I told you I wanted you to take his name. Like I said, these police officers, they mask up, wear this shield, wear these glasses, wear this thing, and then no name tag, no number, no nothing. So he thinks he can escape, but we are going to get him. But after making a lot of noise and demanding not only NHRC should take my complaint, right? The police themselves should file the complaint. She eventually was compelled to take, telling me that, oh no, there's procedure, you need to go to human rights unit in police. I told her, I know human rights unit and I know the guy who is head of there. I don't need your help to go there. What I'm saying is, here at this station, you must take my complaint. She took my complaint. She didn't want to read it out to me, what she wrote. And I also had another problem with her because of that. I told her, what is the meaning of that? I just told you I was tortured. You started writing a long paragraph. I waited for you respectfully. Read out the paragraph. She refused to read out the paragraph. What have you put in? She said, no, I must listen to. I told her, no, you must listen to me. I am the complainant here. You take my complaint and you tell me what you have said. So in the end, we left it like that. Police Human Rights Commission had taken my complaint. Police had put in some bogus complaint or whatever that they put in there. But this is what SAR does. He intimidates police officers, he intimidates civilians, and he thinks that he is going to get away with it scot-free. But not in this new Gambia. We're not going to accept that. And we're going to make sure that we take another, all the guys who were brutalized, especially those of them, I've spoken to them. Let them get ready. We are going to go to the National Human Rights Commission. All the police brutality will be reported there. And we will see what else we will do. We will not just leave it with National Human Rights Commission. But this SAR needs to be exposed. We do have some wonderful, gallant men, police officers, that are doing their job. And all throughout our detention, we were dealt with very well. Especially the officers in the police stations. To be very, very fair. Like I said, I gave PURA their credit, even though I wasn't happy with what they're doing with the price floor. And I'm going to also give the police their credit. But there are some of these police officers are rogue police officers. They are giving the rest of the police a very bad name, And we are not going to sit down and allow them. If SAR thinks that he can come around and intimidate us, we are not going to accept that. And we are going to make sure that he does not continue benefiting from our taxpayers' money. Why should my taxpayers' money go to a torturer?
Somebody who touches you.
Huh? So the issue of the police brutality, Fatou, when I was arrested on Monday during the court case, and my case is not even about the senior police officers. It's about the new recruits.
Some of them also.
New recruits. I mean, new recruits.
Yeah.
You know, so I was running to where our boys are. I was trying to tell them that let's disperse and go. So these people shot me. It's like 20, 25, I cannot know, but there were many. And they started flocking me, beating me all over.
You are joking.
So, I mean, there is this young police guy who told me, okay, you wanted to go to Mile 2, I will take you there. I look at him, I was like, really? You think your father owns Mile 2? So, and he get more agitated to continue flogging me. So, I mean, these are issues that continues to happen. Like, we fought for this 22 years of Jammeh's rule, that such things should not happen. But from there, when we went to PIU, the same police officers were trying to tell us that you're looking for fame. I was like, I will not talk to you. You unmax yourself first. Let me talk to you. You cannot be on a max and you want to address me. I will not listen to you. But we have issues like that happening, trying to intimidate people, trying to torture people, trying to make us look like bad people. You know, these are things that are happening. But just like you said, give Caesar to what belongs to Caesar. Most especially those police officers at Kairaba. They're very good police officers. They give, most especially prisoners there, they are full right. Sometimes they even allow us to come out of the cell to be where, you know, behind the counter. And we'll be there having a lot of conversations with them. Today, I went there to report, and some of these people are very good people, and we were joking, and, you know, but they are very good. Some of these police officers at police stations are very good police officers.
Definitely, some of the young ones, the new ones, it's not all of them, because one thing I will say, the conditions of training and the regime that they go through, honestly, what you see is a transfer of aggression. You see, imagine somebody who has been brutalized during their training and they just release them like that onto the public, you know, and especially if you don't have a commander who respects human rights. For me, a lot of these, even if you have been given that bad training, you will see some of them, they will treat you very well because their commander will not accept it, you know. Their commander will tell them, look, if you violate a good commander, if you do the wrong thing, we will address you, we will deal with you. So now, when you are that kind of officer, you know the way you behave is going to be different. But if you have SAR commanding you, just jump from the thing, start insulting his own people. Now, don't you see immediately how all of the other police officers, they were there standing. They were not going to do anything. But the moment he came in, he started doing that. All of them now felt compelled that, look, how can I save my job here? I must run after one of these guys. Let me get that Gala guy, or this Gumsabapa guy, or this Earl Francis Small, or this youth. Some of the people who were also taken to Mile 2 or to in the police station, they are not from Gala, they are not from Earl Francis Small, they're not from Gumsabapa. They're not from any movement. They just believe in this too, you see. So, but it's very unfortunate. We really need security sector reform, Madi.
You know, listening to him, and even, you know, the night that they were first arrested, when lawyer Khadija Tujalo sent us an updated report, and we were looking through it, where they were telling us Ace was brutalized. His shirt was torn off. He was, you know, he was brutalized with another guy, and I was thinking, is this not the new Gambia? The reason why we have President Barrow as the president of the Gambia today is because we wanted to break away with what we were dealing with during Jammeh's time. That is the fact. That was the only reason. People wanted change because of the brutality, all of the things that Jammeh was doing to us. But today we are seeing the same things happening. Police officers doing stuff like this to people, telling people, you want to go to Mile 2, telling people, I'm going to do this to you. And even when he reacted to somebody else being tortured, you tell him, I'm going to do it to you. Knowing this guy is a journalist, he will come out and expose everything, but they seem not to care. And I keep asking this question: who is policing the police?
Police.
Because if we break the law, they arrest us. Sar was there telling Flex that
Yes.
you are not lawful.
Yes.
And it was, we are lawful, we are legal. Arrest him. I'm like, who is this guy? But today, who is policing them? They can do whatever they want and nothing happens. But if we violate, then you send young people to mile 2.
Well, I mean, we are policing them as Edward Francis Small Center for Us and
Very
Justice.
good.
We are policing all public officials, and all citizens should police all public officials, from the president to the last person. So during this entire process, even though we have joined these gallant youths to support the process, as he said, it is their idea. Flex, even before the Friday protest, as a journalist, took responsibility also to go to PURA with fellow journalists to get information. Flex is our quintessential journalist and activist, a citizen of responsibility. So I'm really proud of him for that. But whilst we are involved, we had volunteers to document the process. So next week, EF Small Center, we will be submitting a report to the Attorney General, to the IGP, and to the National Human Rights Commission. We have documented all human rights cases, from the arrest, the detention, the deployment of tear gas, detention conditions, actions of individual police officers like SAR. We have documented them by our own pictures. We have gone to Kerr Fatou platform. We have gone to Askanwi platform. We have gone to Ghana platform. We've scanned through the pictures and the videos. We are downloading them.
Very good.
And I want to announce that to all citizens. From henceforth, download all videos, because Facebook has a policy that videos,
Now they're deleting
after
videos.
they will delete them, because we will have another Truth Commission. This time we are not going to call it Truth and Reconciliation. It will be Truth and Justice Commission. We will have it.
We will.
All right. So I urge people to document, download all videos and store them, because the day will come. So, but as an action, we will do that. He talked about the Torture Prevention Act. For example, tear gas. International law has banned tear gas to be used in warfare. It says tear gas can be used in law enforcement, but under very strict conditions. If you look at the way and manner the tear gas were deployed there, it tantamount to torture. Not to mention the experience he went through, Killer Ace went through, both at the police station and at Mile 2. We have reviewed the Prisons Act. The Prisons Act has no provision that requires you to cut inmates' hair. And these are not even inmates. These are remanded persons. So you are not convicted. Did they cut your hair, Flex?
Thank God, no.
No. They didn't cut your hair. No. But they cut, Killer Ace hair. Why? Hair is hair. So we have documented all of these things. And we'll be submitting a report to the relevant authorities to make sure there is accountability. It is not to expose SAR alone, it's to hold him to account.
Indeed.
Yes.
And if the Attorney General and the IGP and the NHRC fail to ensure accountability, we will come after them to make sure they are held to account.
Yes.
Look, this country is our country. You understand?
Of course.
But Flex, if SAR is not in a uniform,
Will he
Would
do
he
that?
do-
you and SAR 1-to-1. You think he will do that to you?
No.
The only reason SAR can do the arrogance with which he can act, because you and me and everyone, we gave him power, because he doesn't have power. President Barrow doesn't have power. Power belongs to the people. We gave it to you to give you authority to do A, B, C, and D to serve us. You cannot have that people's power and you abuse it with arrogance. On this land, in this country. Who are you? You and SAR 1-to-1. You and the IGP, Sidi Mukhtar 1-to-1 in the bush. What will he do?
That's not.
The only reason they can arrest you because they wear a uniform. And that uniform, because you legitimize that uniform. So you see, this country, that's where we have got to. We have to look at each other face to face and tell the truth based on the law.
That's the truth.
And the law is the Constitution under Section 25D grants freedom of assembly.
That's the law.
Freedom of assembly without the use of arms. Like any law, it went further in subsection 4 of that section 25 to say the right of assembly is not absolute. It can be limited by law in a manner that is reasonable in a democratic society and for the public interest. And the law that provides the limitation is the Public Order Act.
Thank you.
The subsidiary law. That Public Order Act also recognizes freedom of assembly, that citizens can assemble together in a public place. But it says further, as a way of limitation, if two things are involved in that assembly, then there are requirements. It created Section 5, control of processions.
Yes.
And it says why you assemble, and that assembly will involve a procession.
Exactly.
Moving from point A to point B, you require a permit from the IGP. If you are in Banjul and Kanifing municipality, if you are in the regions, you require required from the governor.
Yes.
Or someone designated by the president. This is what is in the law.
It's in there.
Why are the police saying something that is not in the law?
Hold on. Then it says the second thing involved. If there is secondly the use of PA system involved.
Exactly.
So if you assemble
You don't have.
and there's and in a public place, so the conditions are there, because when you look at law, law sets rights, it sets standards, it sets obligations. So you got to know what is the right, what is the standard, and what is the obligation. That's who has obligation. So it says public assembly in a public place.
Exactly.
Right now, this is an assembly because we are more than 3
We are
people.
more than three.
It's an assembly.
Yeah.
But the Public Order Act will not act on this assembly because this assembly is in a private place.
space. Exactly.
Yeah.
The Public Order Act says if you assemble in a public place, and in that place you will go on a procession, let's say a street,
Yes.
you need a permit.
Exactly.
Number 2, it says if that assembly is in a public place, even if you are not going on a procession, but you are going to use a loudspeaker in that public place, which when it sounds would also flow onto other public places, you need a permit.
Yes.
So the IGP knows the law, the Attorney General knows the law, the police have lawyers, they know the law, and they sit there blatantly disregarding the law and jumping on people to arrest them willfully. You see, this injustice you talked about, this is the problem of the country. So what the police needed to do on Friday in front of PURA is to sit there and watch over these people.
Yes.
If someone throws a stone, someone breaks a glass,
Get
someone
that
burns a vehicle, arrest the person. Because that is against law and order, which is well established in the Police Act
Exactly. Exactly.
or in the Criminal Code. So what is this? Our own country, the police we established to maintain law and order according to the law. You arrogate to yourself powers you don't have. You abuse your powers and inflict violence on people. I mean, what is this? And you expect us to live with that in our own land? I mean, the colonialists, we didn't tolerate it for the colonialists. How can we tolerate it for Sidi Mukhtar Toure, or Adama Barrow, or Dawda Jallow, or Lamin Sarr? I mean, who are they? So, our citizens need to begin to assume national responsibility to defend the Constitution and the laws of this country. Because at the end of the day, how much are we spending on Adama Barrow?
Exactly.
How much are we spending on Sidi Mukhtar Toure?
Millions.
How much are we spending on Dawda Jallow? And Lamin Sarr and every one of them? We are spending millions for their comfort. Just for you to abide by the law, and you don't abide by the law. Who are you?
Are we a set of different sets of citizens where others are obliged to abide by the law and others are not?
Exactly.
And this happened just the day that landmark ruling of St. Michael Korea happened in Denver.
All right.
Which shows us
65 and a half years.
So-
when you reflect on that, you still have police officers abusing their citizens.
That's why I said we will have Truth and Justice Commission. Because, I mean, these things, as I said, EF Small Center in particular, we are documenting.
Good.
And as we are sitting here, I don't know whether you are aware, Malagan just released a report on the security sector reform that Flex mentioned.
Okay.
7.2 billion has been spent on security sector reform. And today, you have our security officers deploying indiscriminately tear gas on the public, arresting people unlawfully, detaining people unlawfully, subjecting them to torture, and then weaponizing the laws to send them to mile 2. And refusing in that mile 2, I'm sure Flex will talk about conditions in that mile 2, refusing to reform the mile 2 as part of the security sector reform. So this blatant irresponsibility, Fatou, this blatant injustice perpetrated by public officials is the thing cancer killing this country. And some citizen has to get up to say, look, it should end. Yeah, it's enough.
Yeah.
And one of those citizens, if you allow me, is Killer Ace.
Yes.
You talked about the injustice. I was there in the van. You know, Madi and guys, these people, they think that they are smart.
Yeah.
Because in the van, they know that the public is not watching them.
Yeah.
But Killer is like an artist which has responsibility to his country that he's always been. Of course, they arrested him unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Dragged him, threw him into the van.
The van,
Yeah. And it's those covered vans. And I was they put me in the van there. And then, you know, these young officers, like you said, the new intakes, Killer Ace was videoing them because of the way that they were brutalizing. And this guy was literally in the van trying to punch Killer Ace. That's why Killer Ace has a mark. He held Killer Ace mungi solon yena chaha. He was wearing like a chain.
Yeah.
And then the guy literally grabbed the chain, rip it off his neck. Yeah? So you will see on Killer Ace's chest, he's got all these marks because the guy was trying to, you know, fight with him. Me, I was in the middle, trying to be peacemaker, forcing the guy from, you know, brutalizing, trying to stop the guy from brutalizing Killer. But this is exactly what they do. They think that in some instances, you know, like when they are in the van, you know, the same time, you know, like when the guy was torturing me with the handcuffs, that was in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
When they are in the van, when they are in the back of a pickup truck, when they feel that people are not seeing, sometimes even when people are seeing.
Yeah.
We saw the pictures of that lady who was being brutalized.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like obligated to talk about all these people because they are not here. You know, how they've been brutalized. This is not some things that we are making up. These are things that is so unfortunate that we have police officers, after spending billions, they still cannot do their job.
So Fatou, certainly, when we were arrested first, that is the first gala protest.
The first one, yeah.
The first gala protest, we were at anti-crime at Banjulende. So the same thing was happening there. There is this guy called Noise at anti-crime. I still remember the name.
Yeah.
His name is Noise. He was the one that was torturing Get Open because we were asked to take in our fingerprints and we said no. So he came in, slapping Get Open, beating him. So my boys wanted to react. I was like, no, let's allow him to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the law will take its cost. Let us not fight him because he's a police officer. So that is it. He started beating Get Open, just like what they did to Killer, beating him, kicking him, and Get Open fell sick. So when they were taking him to the hospital there, because our lawyer, I forgot the name, the last gala protest.
Lamin Kamara?
Is it Dabo?
Johnny.
Not Johnny.
I know Lamin Kamara was there, Johnny was there, some others, yeah.
Yeah. So he asked them to take Get Open to the clinic at Banjulende.
Yeah.
So Ghetto told us that when he get into the pickup, they were beating him there too.
Even when they were taking him to
the hospital, they were beating him there. So the police brutality, if you want to talk about all those things, it's a whole lot of things.
And you know, Fatou, I expressed my disappointment to some of the senior officers on Friday when we went to the Karabakh station when I found them there.
Yeah.
And 15 years ago, those were junior or menial level officers. And myself and Jundu Drame, Commissioner NHRC. I was at Tango. The police established a National Human Rights Unit for the first time. 2010, 11, 12, in between. And a very progressive human rights friendly officer, ML Sonko, ASP at the time, was made the officer commanding. He drove all the way to my office. I've never seen him before. And said, Mr. Madi, I'm here. The IG has just made me the officer in charge of the newly created human rights unit. But we don't have anything, resources, skills, knowledge. So we've come here. You help us. We develop this unit. I told Sonko, today is my happiest day
ever. Thank God.
Yes, for the police to create a human rights unit, we have been advocating for that. I said, go back to your office, write a letter officially to Tango, and we will see how we can generate resources and we support you. We went to work. And, and the country at the time, I mean, a person I know passionate about human rights, Jundu, I said, we have this, and I want us to lead a human rights campaign in the police security sector. Flex from Banjul headquarters up to Basse. We were having human rights training for police officers. And subjects of discussion sessions, we had clear sessions on torture. We had clear sessions on corruption and other aspects of human rights. And I fully remember in the trainings, officers come here, Madi, this human rights, if you want it to work, you have to bring the senior officers, because they are the ones who give the orders.
Yeah.
Yes. This funny officer, until today, if we meet on the traffic, he would always tell me, come and whisper, you have to bring the ogre himself. That was my job. I said, this human rights, this is for them. So, 15 years down the line, those who were junior officers, middle level officers at that time.
The ones you were training.
That's we trained.
Yes.
Who are today the senior officers. I mean, leading all these things. I met one of them and said, I'm disappointed. Really. Because all we went through, I'm disappointed that you are now the decision makers and these are the decisions you are taking. But, the bottom line is, the time has come and we are happy we have citizens like this.
Yeah.
All right. For some of us, as I told you, we've spent so much time trying to argue and in the civil society and, everywhere. We've gone to meetings, as I said. We've done all sorts of workshops, all sorts of seminars. All right. But at the end of the day, you go to our prisons. You go to our police stations. All right. The prisons, if you all remember, 2017 or 18, that was a prisons committee. Review of the Prisons Act, a committee for the review of the prisons. I was put there. And we reviewed the prisons. We went to Mile 2 and just went to visit it, look at the conditions. We came and produced a report. Reviewed the Police Prisons Act, a very comprehensive, a very good one. Since that time, it is lined with the government. I was part of the Drug Control Act review. It is lined with the government. The Police Act, all right, and the NIA Act, the Gambia Armed Forces Act. These are all acts that need to be restructured. Yeah. And they are still not done. So we have got to a point where our public officials do not want to serve this country diligently, professionally, with urgency. And we cannot be dragging our feet. And poverty is increasing and hardship and deprivation in this country. So citizens have to come to a point to realize this is our country. All right, this is our country. And no one better than the youths to take responsibility to make sure that justice and corruption-free society is created. And I think that is where we are.
You keep saying, this is our country, this is our country. I think that should be the slogan for everybody. To take ownership. Indeed. If every single Gambian takes ownership, we will make a step. Because you know how we all protect what belongs to us? Indeed. You don't want anybody to take that. My child, my car, my home, my bank account. We don't want anybody to take that.
Fatou, this is what drives me. Every time I am doing this advocacy, I say to myself, I'm doing this for us and our children and those yet unborn. We have a responsibility. It's not just to enjoy rights. What about your responsibility? So I hope any Gambian that sees this, I have a Wi-Fi in my house. I have Wi-Fi. Internet is not as
It's not
that
your
compared
biggest-
to me
Yeah.
to
to the rest of the
but guess what? There are some other junior reporters who work with me.
Yeah.
My reporters. How about them?
Yes.
How about the ordinary Gambians? How about the students in the universities that depend on this? So we don't have to just think about ourselves. And I'm also talking to those in the, who should know better, who should act better, those who are in better position, who are able to just sit at home and enjoy their comfort. You have to look beyond your nose and into the Gambia and see how we can build this country. Because let me tell you, if we have an awakened citizen that is ready to hold this government accountable, it doesn't matter which president comes in here.
Yeah.
We will make sure they do what they need to do. If they don't do it, they know that they are out.
Yeah.
And this is what we need.
And if you would allow me to add to that point, because it's so important.
Yeah.
And why all governments need to stand behind Gala and Team Gomsa Bopa.
Yeah.
Or create similar organization
Like
with
this.
like that,
Yeah.
and we all collaborate. You see, Fatou, the significance of these two organizations and what they are doing. If you look at Jammeh, the time of Jammeh, Jammeh exiled activism. Jammeh exiled journalism.
Yeah.
Jammeh exiled or silenced citizen participation. Because when Jammeh took over, the level of society was such that there was a lot of indifference and dormancy and complacency, so that the dictatorship was growing and growing and growing to a point where we just see ourselves being arbitrarily arrested, detained, executed, exiled. Look, during Jammeh's days, how many of our journalists were outside? Government source of information was outside. Not government media inside.
I was one of those.
Yes, our CSOs, our journalists, our activists, they were all outside.
Yeah.
Our people were silent. You act like Solo Sunday is it's your life. You want to do your journalism like Deda is your life. You want to claim justice like the students in 2000, it is your life.
Yeah.
So this is what we need to realize and refuse dictatorship to build in this country, so that once again journalism and citizen participation and activism will be exiled. And what has started from 2017, some of us have been saying that we are sliding back to dictatorship. This kind of arrest, detention, these trumped-up charges, these are all the hallmarks of dictatorship that if we all stay back, eventually we will have to flee this country. Eventually, Kerr Fatou will not do what they will do. They will close it down. All right? They will close all other radio stations, online media, television stations, and so on. And this is what governments have to realize, so that when Gala and Gomsa Bopa say, come out. Whether you are a farmer or a teacher or a police officer or a soldier or a market woman, come out, because you are defending the republic, your life, your future. This is what I want governments to understand in terms of the significance of Team Gomsa Bopa and Gala and what they are doing. Let us not allow anybody anymore to exile our citizenship, all right, out of this country. No.
And the only reason how we can do that is support these organizations. And I just want to let everybody know that BMJ, the Barrow Moscow platform, is doing a fundraiser tonight for Teams Gomsa Bopa, Gala, and the Edward Francis Small Center. And I always say this to people, when they arrested Madi, I was scared. At some point, I was going to get my passport and go to America and sit there. Because at that point, he was the only one who was speaking for all of us. When they attacked the media, when they attack us on the radio, when President Barrow goes out and said, "Nin democracy tijan Kerr Fatou se sotola, meme came to sotola." The only person who came out and, from the civil society was Madi. He came out and stood and spoke for us. So when you look back and you see people like him, you're comfortable. But when they arrested him, I was scared. But when you see people like Gala and Gomsa Bopa, you start to get confident and say, but I think I can still speak up. Madi is here. These organizations are here. That is why some of you people who cannot go to this protest, there's a way you can participate. It's by supporting these organizations.
Indeed.
We cannot let these organizations die. Look, I tell people, I don't care I saw posts people were saying, oh, journalists should be impartial. I don't care. I'm a Gambian. That is why I took that post thing that you said in the interview and I shared it on my platform. Because I saw myself in that. I saw myself in that because I felt like, when they started attacking me, my organization as a woman, somebody who came home and started from scratch and went to all the stage I was, and they took everything. I stood and I said, I'm not going to let them win this fight. No, I'm going to fight. Indeed. And I fought and I stood. So I'm thinking, I have a voice and I have created a platform. What about those people who don't have those platforms? If I run away so quick, everybody else is going to run. Yeah. So that's why organizations that empower us and give us these voices, this support, we must invest in them. Indeed. You are a Gambian first before you become a journalist, a lawyer, a president, a National Assembly. You are a Gambian first. Yeah. Yes. You become a Gambian and then transition into something else.
And Fatou,
you cannot say I'm a journalist. I don't care about those notions. I saw it. At some point, I thought it was for me. And I just like sometimes when they call me UDP journalist, I said I wear it a badge because I'm a Gambian. I can decide to be anything. Exactly. If I turn sometimes to become an activist, it's because I love my country. I feel like at some point I need to speak out. You need to. And I think if you want organizations like this to stand strong, they sacrifice. I don't know how I will survive one day in Mile 2 or even any prison cell. But these people, they don't care about all those things. They're doing it for all of us. So for us to be there for them, this is what the Senegalese people did. That's why today, Usman Sonko, if the government does anything, the young people come out and twist it for them to go back on those decisions because they tell them, we voted for you. We fought with you. We did everything. You have to be there, be present and support voices that are empowering you. So BMJ is doing a fundraiser for these groups. You will see the links on Tukulorsi and Juka and Mam Lisa on their pages, and we will share it on Kerr Fatou. I'll share it. People can say whatever they want, but we need to support these organizations so that our democracy can be empowered. Because some people have chosen to stay silent, and I can understand people's businesses are at risk. People are scared of their businesses. When you speak against the government, they take everything you own.
Indeed. But that's why everyone needs to speak.
That's why everybody needs to speak. If we all speak, they cannot take all of us our businesses because they need some of us.
Of course.
But some people will not speak. But the people that are speaking, let's empower them.
Exactly. So there's no doubt Flex is independent. Ture Kerr Fatou is independent. A journalist should be independent. But a journalist will take sides. The sides of truth. The side of the oppressed. The side of the weak. The side of the abused. We know journalists. The side of justice. That's what journalists will take. But independently.
Indeed.
So we need to speak. And this is why for EF Small Center, because people say Madi and EF Small Center statement, right? Even if a fly flies, that's a statement. Yes. Because why? Because I don't want anyone to occupy this space and push everyone out.
Good. It's important.
I don't want any, particularly a government narrative, a false narrative, to stand unchallenged. Because when you do that, that is when you push out and silence all other voices and actors. And this is, again, learning from the 22 years of Jad, that they will not have the final say. This is what our civil society, our media need to understand. Look, this conversation is so important.
It is.
At the end of the day, we are speaking.
Indeed.
The police just released, before we came here, a statement. And attacking a former PRO, David Kujabi, for speaking. And we should attack that statement of the police because David Kujabi, as a citizen, has a right to speak, and as a professional who has served, has a duty. And if the police cannot realize that David Kujabi is a resource for them, it's a guidance that they need to benefit from his experience and knowledge, we cannot allow them to intimidate him. And this is why EF Small Center, even if a mango drops, we will make a statement that we will not allow the state to control the narrative ever again in this country, because that is how they silence, they scare, they drive away, they dominate the space, and then injustice prevails. And this is why I appreciate Gomsa Bopa and Gala, because they are saying this space is our space. We will dominate it. We are not going to allow PURA have the last say. We are not going to allow the IGP have the last say. We are not going to allow the president have the last say. Don't you see the president went to set up a so-called high-level committee? Don't you see the president, government say tomorrow they have a press conference? You are making them not to dominate their narrative to stand. They are not responding to our narrative. And this is how we will get democracy, good governance, justice, and development in this country. And this is what I want to tell Gambians to recognize, so that they appreciate. Because sometimes you can be in something, you don't really see the value, the dynamics, you don't understand the dynamics. But people need to understand the dynamics, what is happening, particularly young people, not to waste your time arguing about whether Gala should climb a mango tree or they should climb an orange tree. I mean, how they should send a petition there and there, those kind of,
semantics.
Join them. If you cannot join them, create an even more formidable Gala. A more formidable team comes up, and occupy the space. This country from Banjul to Federal is your space. Occupy it. All right? The policy environment, occupy it. The legal environment, occupy it. The governance space, occupy it. With your narrative and challenge all those official versions that are taking place. Question them. The people we put in power, let us question them. Let us question the institutions. That is called accountability. This is what I want to tell the Gambian youth.
People. And you want to come
in?
So
there was a time that we were talking about, you said young people should take ownership. And just like what Uncle Madi will put across. That is something that is very important. That we are the architect of our own destiny.
Thank you.
The destiny relies on our hand. If we turn it this way, it will. We turn it that other way, it will turn that way. So we must be willing to do something that we are all going to benefit from at the end of the day. So if you are an architect, you will now have to be a good architect or a bad architect. So if you are a bad architect, you are now moving at the wrong direction. But if you are a good architect, you will architect the country to a right direction. So the young people must believe that we are the owners of power. Just like yesterday I was saying when I was chanting, that no bourgeois owns power. No capitalist owns power. Power belongs to the old women at the garden. The old women in their furrows, the old women in the markets trying to sell every day, the youths outside. They are the owners of power. Power is in their custody. So they decide what to do with that power. So when they give you that power, you have a responsibility. Your responsibility is to serve the needs and the aspirations of the people. In an event that you are not doing that, you don't expect them to sit down. They own power. Just like what Uncle Madi said. We own power, and now if you are not doing what we ask you to do, we will remove you from power. We will take the power away from you. That is what we have to do. That is what we have to advocate. That is what people have to understand. That President Adama Barrow does not own power. Sidi Mutar Sise does not own power. Ture does not own power. SAR does not own power. The uniform that SAR is putting on, it's bought from the taxpayers' money. That is where our power comes from. So I think, for instance, the whole issue has to change with, let's say in Mandinka we say Karte Fayo. That thing has to change. It is not Karte Fayo.
Momin kafu ko alga bot fo Karte Fayo si. Ni la fama sabondile.
Hani wo fama maybe kafu ka Karte Fayo fight for as a term. It's wrong.
It's wrong. Okay.
Okay, now I don't like it. I don't want it anymore. Wala din nga fay. Lam ko sana. Buguma ko. So the name itself, the name has to change from Karte Fayo probably to Karte Karafo. So now you are telling them that you own power. That if you are not delivering, if you are not giving me the services that I need, I will take that power away from you. So now from Fayo in to Karafaro. For instance, I give this mobile phone to Fatou. If I feel like Fatou is not in the best position to hold this mobile phone, I will take it away from her.
Thank you.
That is, I think the whole narrative has to change now from the issue of the Madam Sana Karta. To
I like your mindset.
I like that.
You know,
like your mindset.
so the name has a problem, and it has to change.
Absolutely.
So changing that name, you are now making sure that the people that votes at the end of the day to realize that they are the owners of power. That I give you this power because I want you to deliver services for me. I want you to make sure that I live in a just society. That I want you to do that I live in a corrupt-free society, and that is why I pay tax. We have a corporate social responsibility.
Yeah.
We vote in elections because there are certain rights that we sacrifice to the state.
Yeah. Given it
So if you are not giving me those rights, I will take away my rights or my power from you. Every day they said we give Adam about $150,000 to eat at State House, Office of the President or State House. If you have to eat that per month, that is going to be how much? For 8 years, Adam Barrow is in power. That is how much? And still he is not delivering services. We have to ask ourselves this
And we still
fundamental
provide
question.
that depanso.
We still provide that
Even though
depension.
he's not
I mean,
performing.
I would like to say this in our own native languages.
I mean, a lot of people are telling me that we should speak in local language. They want the old men to hear.
They have
comment
some
here.
sang or like tilo tili.
Ha.
Eka dalisi Willie keme talulu. Dalisi Willie talulu. Willie keme talulu. Okay. Willie talulu.
Ha.
Eka wale di Adam Barola puru ayadomo
Ala depanso.
depanso State House. Comme même foga nundoro carte fayo. Na mera toni nyanda ka falina ka bo carte fayo la kata carte karafola. Kadu mobe nyanda ka lo nako sembo mu mol etati. Adam Baro taten sembeti. Sidi mutak sise toure tanten sembeti. Lamin sar taten sembeti. Sembo be musol lebul min ba gadi not. Sembo be musol lebul min ba faroto, sembo be musol lebul min ba marsit. Sembo be fondinkel lebul. So wala tam sembo. So jadi mba fala carte fayo ngafa ngada carte karafa. So ni ngana carte karafa at the end of the day ni mantara ka ke inyanda ka nyame mba busile bulle. So now I have the powers to take away my power from you. So we have to be architects of our own destiny. We have to be awakened citizens. We have to be aware of our rights. But of course, we also have to know what are our responsibilities so that we can move a country.
And Fatou, I have got education from the young man that this power he's talking about, I see it in three pillars or three things.
Yeah.
Our votes, our voice, and our actions. Our votes, our voice, and our actions. So our power is in our vote, but our power is in our voice. To speak up, to write, our voice is in our actions to protest and to, engage in activities that will bring change, that will ensure justice. And I hope these people will have the resources to go around, because at the end of the day, it is about empowerment. Yes, empowerment. The market woman needs to be empowered to realize what is your power, where does it lie? How do you manifest your power? So that this old woman will realize my power is in my vote, my voice, and my actions. The youth realize that my power is in my vote, my voice, and my actions. They need to go around in the communities. So that, people realize power, and as he beautifully said, léegi dañu wax sànni carte. dañoo dénkaane carte.
Waaw.
xam nga dénkaane moom.
dañ ko dénkaane de.
su waxtu bi jotee nga jël ko ma ne lu mën a dénkaane jox ma ko. yaa ngi wax lu mën a dénkaane jëloo ma ko.
Waaw.
So this is the point. And I am glad that conscious youth is emerging in this country. Yes. I mean, and Gala, and before they came, all of what we are saying, Killer is captured it. Even the most beautiful way.
Oh, wow.
Kuboka chigeta gi.
Nanchi meo.
Oh, wow.
By
By
Ken
So, I mean, Killer is, if I want to say something, then people will begin to say, Killer is
inspirational.
Is an inspiration. He needs our celebration, our respect.
Support,
Yes.
Our support.
Indeed.
And look at the thing they created.
Yes.
He said, Team Gomsa Bopa. That is Team
Gomsa.
Yes.
Gomsa Bopa. At the end of the day, the gunmen youth The Gambian farmer, teacher, do we go Sunbopa?
No.
No.
Nope.
I mean, this is a very powerful name. So we need to support these groups, Fatou. So that's why for me, after all these years of my civil society work, to come and realize this, that at the end of the day, because like you, I mean, I sit down, I'm like, okay, all right, I don't think I can do anything.
Yes.
I
I
mean,
know many times I have to tell him, Madi, you cannot give up on this.
Yeah,
I always tell him.
But I mean, they have given me a new dose.
Yes.
Because I'm like, okay, now even if I go and sit in Boraba,
See,
I know.
just like that, Nawek is gone. Every Thursday when we do shows, every Thursday it goes. As a small business, you always have to invest in other power. Because if you don't, every day power
I hope
goes.
we are still live.
We are still live there because we always know that they will go.
Shut it
So
down.
we will always,
So to end what I was just saying,
yeah,
these groups are a blessing.
yeah,
And I think the spirit of Edward Francis Small,
Small,
for me, I see it in this group.
Yes.
And this precisely, I have created an organization, deliberately called it Edward Francis Small Center.
yeah.
You know, it has sort of meaning for me, and I am seeing the manifestation of that.
Yeah,
So young people, let them get there and take ownership, as you said.
yeah,
I mean, as I told you, I have been in this for a long time.
Yeah.
There's no way I've not gone to meeting
yeah,
with those, you know, as you said, the bourgeois,
Yeah.
the elite. All right.
Yeah.
I have had the same narratives,
Yeah.
on and on about everything you can imagine: energy, sports,
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, education,
Yeah.
health, agriculture, and we sit here. I mean, it's like we have gone nowhere.
yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
Because the narrative they have is false.
Yeah.
And they are not doing their job. Even if they put up a proper narrative, they abandon their responsibility.
Like, look now,
Yeah.
and I think, I don't know, maybe they said that there's a committee.
Yeah.
And then they said that they're going to have a press conference
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Who provoked that? But you
see?
provoked that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and that is good. That is the power of advocacy.
Yeah.
But before we come to the prison experience, I wanted to come to Omar because I know that Gala is going round. Omar is the regional coordinator for Gala. And the reason why I even raised this fundraiser for them to support these organizations is because, you know, that initiative going round, because Gala must not stop in this just here. It must not just be Banjul, Serakunda, Bakau. The youth of Bakau must know the importance of Gumsabo, the importance of speaking up about your country and having your voices heard. And having Gala going on a regional tour is important. I think it's important for him to speak to us a little about that and why it's important for Gambians to come and support their initiative so that they can talk to a lot of more Gambians to be, you know, we just
That's
have
how
to
we
enlighten.
awakening the Gambian consciousness.
At this point, that is the agenda. How the Gambian youth can be more empowered with information to know their rights as a citizen.
Okay, thank you very much, Fatou. And you see, I've never been proud until when I went for the regional tour for Gala. So as the regional chairperson or the regional coordinator for Gala, I have a lot of contact with people in the provinces. So I'll tell you a scenario when we get to Basedan Fakunda. There is this old woman. So when they told her that you know Galale, omol mini yalan ko e protesta nu pour ka ñin karo ke jamela fengol dundi muntole jumale sang e dunda nyameng mero ko mole ko almandra ka ñin kam moy albake kal fangol le dingol alba mi wulula anen gamenol alba ko ko alamuta andum kuure bola ko ni alsonda ali albana alfalla du alsota. So that is to say that, okay, people might not know, they might not know what Gala is, but when you tell them, ko, they all have a clue. So when we were going around and people were showing, that is why we don't want to make it very conventional. It's not even conventional. That is why we do not have any town hall meeting.
Yeah.
We do not have any T-shirt, but we prefer to meet them at their booths, at the farms, at the markets. Because that is, just like I said, they are the true owners of power.
Yeah.
So if we believe that they are the true owners of power, we don't need to call them. Let's meet them. Let's talk to them.
Yeah.
They do not know that power belongs to them.
People.
So Gala is going, we are going to go for a nationwide caravan. Just like I said, it's not going to be a conventional meeting where we will call people come to a hall, let's discuss, we give them foods, we give them things, at the end of the day we dispersed. We are going to be more unconventional. Let's meet them in their farms. Let's meet them at the ghettos. The regional tour was just to tell people what the responsibilities of Gala is and what should they also do. So we have a lot of recommendations because we know that as a movement, we must have short in one thing or the other. And we are not perfect. But listening to people, write their recommendations, put them into considerations. That is what they think you should do. If you can do it, put it in your consideration and act on it. So that is why the regional tour was very important. We go as far as URR to see people, to meet them in their farms, to talk to them. And when we came to Brikama, I think that is where we get one of the best response at the market. A woman told us, she was also an old woman. She told us that if you people are to fight, who are we to sleep? Nakata atol be kelo kela. Joanna told the purunga sino. It's like the woman knows that she is the owner of power.
Yeah.
She was even telling us that Yankuba da banga faen. Nkai kepeng na ma ke ba fatila jela. Just like it was ba fatila jela ngado keje. That she believes that power belongs to her. So that was why the tour was very important, because we also have to talk to people about what are the things that Gala wants to do and what are the other what do they think that Gala should do. So it's just like a one-to-one conversation with the people outside the country. So the tour is about meeting the people and knowing their recommendations.
We need more of this.
We need more of that. It is very important. That's why we need to support this. Go to Tukulor Juka's page and you will see that. Flex. Monday, yen tamit ngeen bañ bail si police bi.
Wow.
Flex. Boy, man su ngeen bail. Man dama jël la ngeen bañoon bail tam.
It's a good question. I'll explain, and then I think once we explain, people might have a different perception.
Okay.
So, and it ties up to even the magistrate's decision to take us to mile 2. So, first of all, police bail, for anybody who has been through police bail, you will never put yourself through it again. Me, I've been through police bail. Madi has been through police bail. And I think both of us, because we are fighters, we manage to fight police bail, but others cannot. And I say this knowing our sort of, as an activist, as an advocate, you have a little bit more of a privilege. When Yusuf or Flex Dan is arrested, the media goes with it. But when somebody who's an ordinary person is arrested, you know, it's something else.
The difference is there.
So when they give you police bail, you come, you start reporting. They use intimidation tactics on you, because at any moment they can revoke that bail and throw you behind the cell. So that means that you are outside the cell, but you are almost living inside, because you're always going to the police. You come to the police, the guy in charge, the SO, he sees you, he's happy on that day, and then he lets you go. Another day you come, he's not so happy, you are there, he goes out, takes care of his business, comes back, and then maybe then he releases you. All of that to subject, or even if you go, you write something on the social media, they are like, and that is brought to their attention. I thought this guy was somebody from higher up. I thought this guy is on bail. Why is he? Then they come and they start to ask you all kind of intimidation tactics. So we say no to that. So that was the first point why we rejected police bail. Because of we wanted to go and do about our lawful business. Just like we have been involved in lawful business. Anyways, when we went to court, and this is why anybody who thought that we should take police bail, I'm sure they might have to change their mind. The magistrate tried to make a point that, oh, you refuse police bail, so I'll send you to mile 2. But guess what? All of us, even those who received police bail, the 3 of them, they were all of us were sent to mile 2 by the magistrate. And there is an injustice happening in this country, and the judiciary should stand by Gambians and stand for the rule of law. They are there to implement the laws, you know.
Yeah.
When the law says something is a bailable offense, it's a bailable offense, you know.
Yeah.
I don't believe that anybody in this country, I don't care who you are,
Yeah.
and I will say it, has the right to put people in mile 2 when they have a bailable offense.
Yeah.
And there's a new criminal procedure code which is recommending easier, leaner bail conditions. $3,000.
Yeah.
Not this $50,000 that they are putting. They put $50,000 on me. You know, as if I am a flight risk. I am here advocating for Gambians. Yeah. So, but it's unfortunate, and I must say this, I actually had a tip-off that this magistrate would do exactly what he did, which is very, very unfortunate. That's why anybody who saw me at the court, I was very calm, because I was expecting it and even starting to think, what will be our next action? Because I am not one to put down and lie down. That's why you hear I said hunger strike. We're doing the hunger strike when we went into the mile 2. 23 people. This magistrate sent us to mile 2 in the context of that they would give the ruling on the
September 4th.
Yes, they would give the ruling on September 4th, 10 days later. But let me say this, and I must say this. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm very careful what I say. I know that this is an ongoing case. I'm very careful what I say. We live in a country which is common law that is in place, English.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
If somebody is innocent, how can you throw them into mile 2? How can a whole judiciary or a magistrate that we pay their taxes, I pay their taxes, you and I, we all pay their taxes, say that, wait, you've put in an application for bail, give me 10 days, let me think about it so that I can come up with a ruling on that. In the meantime, go to mile 2. Yeah. What is the meaning of that? That's very appalling, and we stand against that. We're going to resist anybody who is overstepping. I am in defense of the Constitution when I'm saying this. I am in defense of the laws of the Gambia when I'm saying this. You cannot go against the laws of the Gambia. Send people to mile 2. Every single magistrate, every single judge that has a thinking or an inclination to send anybody to mile 2, go there first. You must go there first and see with your own 2 eyes and see what is there. When we were brought to mile 2, they had to take people out, send them to other places so that we can have space to go in. You know, it's very, very appalling. It's very, very unfortunate. And I will also go into, I don't know, Madi, you were in the court. If you pay attention, I believe there were some procedural lapses during the court hearing. Why? They first put in an application for bail. Then both the prosecutor and the defense were okay with bail. It was only, the only argument was, is it going to be 50,000 or is it going to be 3,000?
Yeah.
According to the new criminal procedures code, which is 3,000. Yeah. Yeah? You can go as low as 3,000. Yeah. This was the argument. Then, before you know it, the magistrate went to talk about adjournment before saying anything about sending us to mile 2. Before saying that, so the magistrate started talking about the adjournment, and that's when he said adjournment will happen on the 4th. And then the last thing he did, which I think was a procedural lapse, he came back and started talking about our bail, that, you know, that they will look at it. However, blah, 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 send them to mile 2, and on the 4th, we will, I believe that's a procedural lapse. Because of he's cut the conversation immediately when you talk about adjournment. Yeah. And then you give another, you know, you could say a ruling which hasn't completed, an incomplete ruling, which is to say we will consider their bail condition on this adjourned date, and in the meantime, send them to. But if he had brought that earlier, before doing the adjournment, then the debate and the discussion would continue. You understand? So I feel these are bailable offenses. Yeah. Bailable offense is a bailable offense. This judiciary everybody must respect the law. Nobody is above the law. And I will repeatedly say it. The judiciary must respect the law.
Yeah.
Bailable offenses are bailable offenses. Give citizens their right. Give them their due. Yeah. I have a right. I have a right to freedom.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot imprison me falsely. False imprisonment. You cannot make a decision which almost, to be honest, we are being treated as criminals and there is no ruling against us.
Madi, it looked like they were teaching them a lesson because, I mean, nobody thought that they were going to send them to Malta because obviously this is a bailable offense, right? And it's only in Gambia you see that courts sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. In Senegal, courts take from morning until 7 o'clock just to adjudicate cases because these are people's lives.
And sorry, in this particular case, the court was not long. And I don't think that magistrate had another court that he needed to do immediately to do an adjournment.
So first of all, as Edward Francis Small Center, we are going to take action on this magistrate. In the decision that he's taken on this bail issue. All right. And so we will reach out to the General Legal Counsel because the court, as they say, is the temple of justice.
Yes.
It's our last resort. And so when we get to the court, we expect to get justice based on the law. And what happened was a weaponization of the law of the courts to send these people to prison. And this is why, as far as EF Small Center is concerned, we classify them as political prisoners. Okay? These people did not commit any common crime. He mentioned the common law. They did not create any common crime law. I mean, common law crime. All right? They did not steal. They did not kill. They did not rape. They did not burn and loot. They were exercising their fundamental rights to freedom of expression and freedom of assembly, and on the basis of that, wrongly arrested. And that arrest is politically motivated. And that is what took them up to court. So they qualify by international standards as political prisoners. So he talked about the bail. And me and him had an argument. Initially, I wanted them to take a bail on Wednesday. And they, on Saturday. And they, but I argued about it. Eventually, I said fine because I reflected. As he said, I'm on the police bail since 2023. The IG has stolen my phone and my daughter's phone. It is still with the police.
And they stole Bora's phone too.
And they put me on police bail. So that as I am sitting here, I have a ring around my neck. They can come and pick me from house any day and say because you are on the police, you are still on the police arrest. Because if you are on that bail arrested and on the bail, you are still technically on the police arrest.
That's true.
And why this is significant? Because it means one, it is abuse. Police abusing their power. They arrest a citizen. They should do their job. Take you to court because the police. They are not one to decide who is innocent or guilty. So if they should arrest anyone, they should have reasonable suspicion that you have committed a crime. The logical thing is they should take you to court. They should not put you on the bail indefinitely. And my case is not the only case. There are so many examples like that. Mar Nyang and others who were arrested also sometime last year. Until now, they are on the police bail. And so within the civil society, within the political opposition, there are so many individuals on the police bail.
All of us now will be on police bail.
All right. So what that means is, one is inefficiency, is abuse, is lack of accountability, is lack of professionalism perpetrated by the police for political reasons. And when I went back and reflected, I said, these people are very right. So that you go to court.
The court bails you.
You force the police to go to court to prove their case. All right? And the matter is in the court. So they are no more under police control. And because we trust that this court, the court is the temple of justice, the police now will have to work hard to prove their case against these people for unlawful possession. So they took the right decision to deny that bail and to seek a court bail, in which the magistrate, his first instance, abuse law and justice. And I think there needs to be accountability. So we, as Edward Francis Small Center, it's a matter we are taking up as well. All right, we are going to take as well, and this explains the bigger picture. You remember there was a bill for judicial officers' salary.
Yes,
and that was a huge outcry about it.
Yeah,
and I had engagements with lawyers because lawyers also are our allies.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and said we understand what you want to do, and we want the judicial officers to be well remunerated.
yeah.
But it cannot just be them to be well remunerated. It is also for them to deliver, to deliver justice.
Indeed.
Appropriately. We cannot have justices, you know, that are literally mercenary and we are paying them from our tax money. That has to be addressed. You see, Father, we have to correct this country. For 60 years, we have been, you know, this country has been going off track. The time has come for people to bring this country back to the track, or to the track it should have been on in the first place. Maybe it has never been on that good track, but now is the time to bring it to track. 30 years Jawara has been here. I mean, I have the greatest respect for Jawara as a person. A very individual, decent person, not greedy, and, you know, respectful of human rights and so on. But his regime was corrupt, was inefficient. That for 30 years, by 1994, Gambia was receiving food aid. From 1965 to 1994. That is unacceptable. By 1994, a country that we had independence in the same year, Singapore.
As now.
By 1994, Singapore was a first world country at the same level as Sweden, or Germany, or UK, by 1994. Then we have 1 month from 1994 to 2016. Subject us to poverty, not just poverty, but to brutality of the most gruesome manner for 22 years, as if we are animals. I mean, you don't even treat your animals like that at home, the way Jammeh treated Gambians. Because who goes home, your sheep or your goat or donkey, you just slaughter them just like that. You just cut their limbs and then, you know, just stab them like that. Nobody does that. But Jammeh was literally killing our people, torturing them, just like that, for 22 years. I mean, when we sit here, we come together, 2016. I urge everyone to go back and read Adama Barrow's 2016 manifesto.
Promises.
He made promises and stated in black and white that within 6 months of taking office, they will repeal all laws that infringe on human rights, democracy, and popular participation, and listed them. And number 1 in the list is Public Order Act.
Just look at it. It's still here.
That is number 1 in his
Number 1 in the list is Public Order Act. Go and read the manifesto, the 2016 manifesto. He said within 6 months of taking office,
They will do this.
we are now 9 years. We have that Public Order Act. It is not only not removed, it has been used
Against us.
against citizens who, these people did not steal a butut from public coffers. They did not underperform. They did not destroy any public property. They did not commit any crime. What they are saying, a public institution, perform your duty according to law. Because PURA, in the first place, there is a Gambia competition, Consumer Competition
Protection
Commission.
Yes.
Matters of competition, that is for that competition commission
Exactly.
to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if QCell and Comium and GAMCell and AfriCell are competing with prices, what business has PURA got to do that? That is a matter for the Gambia Competition Commission, and that is why they issued a statement to say PURA get out of this.
Yes.
And
So PURA was abusing his power. I mean, violating the law. And Njoguba, Dr. Njoguba should be removed.
Yes.
That is the action we expected the president to do, than to set up this so-called high-level panel, which is going to be a panel of nothing.
Bogus panel.
All right? So, this is the issue. So, we cannot sit here, that manifesto, folks need to go and read it. All right? You now go and read, I mean, this is not my opinion. You go and read the National Audit Office report. You read it, you will not imagine this is you think maybe it's an imaginary country they are talking about, or an imaginary government, in the way.
Corruption.
financial transactions are disregarded.
Yeah.
Controls are disregarded. Money is spent, transactions, I mean, without any common sense. Billions wasted. It is in the Auditor General's report.
Yep.
Go and read the parliamentary report. Go and read Presidential Commission report. Go and read police investigation reports on corruption, which has become the central theme in this country, generating poverty upon poverty. I mean, young people are dying in the back way because of lack of opportunities. That's the injustice he's talking about. That is the corruption he's talking about. That is the corruption and injustice. That is what generates the back way. And it is not just back way for the unfortunate, the underprivileged who have been denied opportunities. Those are the ones who go for back way. But people like Fatou and me, we go in the front way. Seek jobs. You know how many government intellectuals, privileged people had to write jobs to go into UN, to ECOWAS, to AU, to international banks, to international companies around the world, because they have those means. What about those youths, those others?
Yeah.
We've got to a point, even police officers, military officers put down their rifles and go the back way.
Yeah.
Because of the injustice and the corruption in this country that President Barrow came to combat, but rather encourages it, rewards it. How many ministers have been mentioned by parliamentary inquiries for corruption? You either promote them, you ignore them, or you redeploy them.
The latest is the oil saga.
Yes.
Even the National Assembly voted.
Yeah.
And that's something I think is important. We want to send out a message. Committees are not something we are not against committees.
Yeah.
The president has set up a committee. And I'm glad to see that GCCPC is there.
Yeah.
In fact, all the government needs to do is to look at one of what GCCPC is saying. They don't need to set up any committee. We are not in support of a committee where they are just coming there to get their allowances
And drinks and food and everything.
And then they don't come out with any tangible resolutions to the public's benefit.
Take it to the right authority.
You see?
Competition commission.
Authority. And then finally, oftentimes, they will create this, and they will come up with a perfect explanation as to why they are doing this, to justify their so-called price floor. We are against that. And we want to set the record straight on that, for sure. What we want, let them remove the price floor. If they want to set up a committee or whatever, let them interrogate the benefits of having a price ceiling. Give us a price ceiling so that we will not be, taken advantage of by these GSM companies. It's very true that, look, we have these terroricafos in this country, and we're going to say it. Some of them, they are the leaders of these GSM companies, putting pressure on PURA to do what they did. Where was PURA when Comium was going out of business the first time? We never had PURA. Where was PURA? Now that all of a sudden, people are starting to enjoy a little bit of a price break, Gambia is starting to be a place where price of internet is a little bit more reasonable. They want to take that away from Gambians. And to be very honest, I look forward to the press conference, and I hope it is going to announce that the price floor has been lifted. That's the message. The deadline was yesterday.
And
Gambians, we are not, Edward Francis Small is here, and Gomsa Bopa and Gala, we are here. We are not going to sit down and allow that to continue.
No way.
No.
And when these people were remanded, the young people said, no, we're not having it. We are blocking. Was that not obstruction?
So okay, when we were arrested.
And how was the mood like,
I was in the inside, so I'll let my guy explain.
Yeah, so when we were arrested, the police charged us for.
You did not go to Mile 2, right?
No, I was.
You were at the courts because you were.
I was arrested at the court.
They were fighting for our freedom.
They got arrested too. Yeah.
So they charge us for public nuisance and obstructing the police from doing their duties. So we all went there, and we all know that the youth are free. So just like I said, injustice everywhere is a threat to justice.
Yeah.
So we also want to sort of them, you know what, you people cannot tamper with their rights. You expect us to sit down and open up. We will not do that. That will not happen. Yeah. So we are also going to do anything within our powers to make sure that the youth are free. And we made mention, we made it very clear at the interview that if the youths are going, we are going with them. To some extent, we wanted to show to the outside world that injustice is at the peg of affairs in this country. And we cannot allow that to happen. So that is why we also did what we do. That is why the youths make sure that there were balances everywhere, that they said the police are not going to go. That is the reason why Kadi said where the tear gas is,
right there.
you know, where the tear gas is met her, that she said she's not going to
in front of the police vehicle.
In front of the vehicle. That
And she was being assaulted. I think we have to make that very clear.
So it's because of that injustice, that is why all those things
And she
happen.
always carried the Gambian flag.
Yeah.
She's a hero.
So if there is any one patriot in this country, now it's Kadi.
She's the one who gave me food to break my my hunger strike as well.
Yeah, so she's part of the regional chairpersons for West Coast. Anytime that I call Kadi, okay, Gala wants to do this tomorrow, we can do it. You know, so yeah.
No, I had thought Kadi spends the night at the police station.
Yeah, because every time that we in the morning.
And I leave Karaba, and I leave her there.
Yes.
Or anywhere you go to, she's still there. Determined, and she doesn't look bothered, like or tired. Yes, she's at the same, like the level is the same, like
same energy.
That girl is something else.
I never know this lady, and I just saw somebody, and I said, who's this? And this person said to my friend, said, you don't know Kadi? She said, she's in every protest. This girl is
Kadi is special, yeah.
She's the epitome of the citizen.
I mean, yes, it's important you point that, and you know, I told you earlier, we are submitting a report.
Yeah.
To the Attorney General, to the IGP, and to the NHRC for the human rights issues that happened.
Yeah.
Because there are elements of gender-based violence by the police. Like in the case of Kadi, you can see there was another woman who, old woman, around down there.
And another woman with her kid.
Yeah, a kid. Number two, we have women with men put in the same jail cell in Karaba Station.
Oh.
All right, you cannot put men and women in the same cell in Karaba Station.
Yeah.
That incident happened. There is a case of minors, because that was Baduseka, that small boy.
Yes.
All right. I mean, by the laws of the Gambia, the Children's Act, a child should be taken to a children's court.
Yeah.
All right. But Badu was taken to an adult court. At Califin Magistrate.
Was he sent to Mile 2?
And sent to Mile 2?
Yes. And there were other minors that we met inside Mile 2.
So there are a lot of human rights issues in this case that the authorities need to be held to account, because they have a duty to uphold the laws of the Gambia and to fulfill Gambia's international obligations. And you can see a lot of violations of that. This country, we have to defend our country. Yeah. And so we have documented, as I said, all of these cases that we are going to put before the Attorney General, the Inspector General of Police, and the NHRC as institutions to respond to this. Otherwise, we will go after them according to law.
Oh, yes.
But we are not going to allow blatant disregard of the law, abuse of power, and violation of human rights with impunity. It has to end in this country. And this is the promise that Mr. Barrow gave this country in 2016. All right, this is what is in our laws, and this is why all these institutions are set up, and they have to make sure they deal with these things. So, I mean, this and many, many other things are there that we have documented and that we are going to deal with. Yes.
So how was the ride to Mile 2? For somebody like you, this is your first time.
Yes.
Somebody like Killer is, he knows the environment.
Yes.
He's been there before, and Killer is never broken. But for somebody like you, this is your first time. And you had people, somebody like a 17-year-old Badu.
Yeah.
How was the mood like in that van going to Mile 2?
So actually, the mood started from in the court when they had made the magistrate made that ruling. And I just forgot to highlight, very important, that we were held for over 72 hours before we were arraigned in court.
Okay.
That's very important because it was around 1 o'clock when the hearing began.
Yeah.
We were arrested at 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we were over 2 hours, and this delay is because what? They are waiting for orders. They are waiting for their bosses to tell them what to do. So anyways, to come to the issue, when they made the announcement, some of the guys were really, distraught. They had to start moving everybody else from out of the court to just leave people, things to calm down a little bit. But the people outside were still, you could hear the noise. So our guys in there, some people were distraught. I had been into Mile 2 to see visitors for visitations with Killer Ace and some other people. So I have been there and I have spoken, I've seen some investigation. But it's not the same as when you are going there to live, survive it. But because I had a tip-off before that there's a possibility that we could go to Mile 2, mentally I was ready. So I was just calm. But some of my colleagues, they couldn't believe it. I don't want to call their names. I'm not here to embarrass any of them. But, some were like, no, we cannot go to Mile 2. No way, no, Mile 2, we're not going. It's an inhumane, degrading place. So I could sympathize with them. So when we were eventually taken, after the whole, it was very chaotic. Put us in the van. Whilst we were going in the van, some of us were trying to talk to the media to give our last messages so that people can know that we, resisting or we're not happy about this. Some of us were doing that. And they put us in the van. And then the tear gas, when they started going off, we were in this van, which is congested. So some of the tear gas was coming in. And it was really disturbing us inside the van. Thank God none of us, collapsed. But it was very chaotic. Even the way that they were driving the car, there was an accident actually in just my van. So the van that I was in, there was a police officer who was stood on the back of the van. Yes, and because there were barricades and all of that, the police van came and it had to stop and then it had to reverse. And then there was another car coming, but this police officer was hanging behind, and then the police officer was injured because the van was reversing and another car was coming, pump his leg. Whoa. Yes, that police officer was seriously injured. And, we were actually advocating for him to be treated, but, I don't want to go too much into that. The way I feel that the police higher command in that instance behaved was like, be strong, like, what were you doing there?
High speed.
Yeah, they were berating him, like, what were you doing there? You should have been inside.
Their own men.
Their own men, and I felt like that was poor leadership because you need to take care of your officers.
Yeah.
So we were a bit taken aback, but then we brought into Mile 2. I tell you, we can have a whole program about Mile 2.
Wow.
Mile 2 it's like a hellhole. That's the best description I can give. The moment you go in there,
Amnesty International said Mile 2 is Africa's hell on earth.
It is. It's hell on earth. It's terrible. And nothing has changed from those days.
Yeah.
Over how many years to change those? How many vehicles? $12 million is per one of these vehicles. Imagine.
Could reform Mile 2.
This OIC that lasted for 3 or 4 days.
2 days.
How many vehicles they spend? I did a publication, an expose. One of my colleagues read an expose about how much millions that have been pumped into that. Imagine that can get you at least 1 or 2 brand new Mile 2s. But anyways, when we got in there, obviously they went through their whole process. To be very fair to the prison officers there, they were very, fair to us. None of us were maltreated, but their job was very difficult. You could see them trying to get people out, sending them to other places, Mile 7, transferring some of these people, just so that there would be space.
For you guys.
For us in there. Now, in the remand wing, there are 2 sections. When you come in, there's 2 sections. So they knew, I don't know how they tried to make sure Killer Ace was in one and Lamin C was in another one. Those are the 2 lions.
They separate
yes,
them.
The 2 lions of Gumsa Bofa. They tried to separate them because of, you dare not violate any of our people's rights in front of those people.
Wow.
They don't tolerate none of that. Wow. And they fought gallantly for the rights of one of ours who actually fainted. Because, and even me too, when I get to that stage where I feel like things are, I cannot resist it, I have to shout. There was one time, one of these guys, one of our guys, actually fainted. And he was in Killer Ace's section. So when he fainted, we were informed that this guy was taken and he had fainted. So we inquired, now has any of our representatives, because we have representatives there, which is Killer Ace, Lamin C, myself, and Ghetto Pen. Some of us were the leaders there. So we said, have any of our guys seen them? And we were told that Killer Ace has seen them. But if you go on the other side, there is a small crack where you can shout and call Killer Ace or whoever to come, and we can confirm. So when I particularly was very insistent to find out from Killer Ace, have you seen this guy? Is he okay? When Killer Ace told us that he was not okay, we made noise there and demanded that we must see this guy. If we don't see him, anything happens to him, it's all on you guys. When we started making noise, myself and Lamin C, you know, me, I just had to make a little bit of noise, like Lamin C, he took it off. Took it off, and then eventually they had no choice but to let us see him. Lamin C went and saw him. I can tell you those 2 days we were there for 2 days, because they sent us on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So Monday was like half a day. Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday somebody fainted. They held the guy like that, took them out. Wednesday somebody, our own guy, fainted in there. Now the place is so congested. You see, that's why I said any magistrate or any judge, and I'm not trying to undermine any magistrate or any judge. I completely respect the judiciary and their independence. They are our last bastion of hope for justice. And we depend on them. You know, but they must deliver justice. They must deliver justice. Now, any judge or magistrate who thinks of sending somebody to Mile 2, you need to be inquiring, how is that capacity? Madi talked about all our former presidents. This Mile 2 has been there and outlived all of them. That place is a hellhole. By the time you enter, the ceiling, it's not like this nice ceiling there. You will see the rebar.
What is it?
Rebar, the reinforcement. The reinforcement bar. The metal. Inside. You can see it from here. You are seeing the reinforcement. The concrete is falling off. So you can see the reinforcement everywhere. That's how dilapidated it is. They told me that sometimes this concrete falls down on people. So, because when they came the first day, they start pretending as if the prison guard, they start pretending as if, you know, they care. They come, took their flashlight, start, you know, looking around to see, oh, is it safe for them? And all of that. On the first day, they are pretending. So when we got in there, in my cell, 26 people were there. And when we got in there, I got the welcome.
What is the welcome?
The Mile 2 welcome.
What is that?
Fatu, if I explain this one to you.
What is that? Mile 2 welcome.
So in Mile 2, in the cells, in remand, you have 2 levels in when you are sleeping. So there is the bottom level, which is they call that the graveyard.
The graveyard.
Yes, and I'll explain to you very soon what it means when I say graveyard. And then you have the VIP, which is on the top. So you have concrete like this, running slab running like this. It's not flat, it's just like a concrete block running like this. And then you have some wooden planks at each, about 4 of them. So there is a space in between
the 2 blocks, the 2 bricks.
So the VIP is about this wide. The wooden blocks that run on top of this concrete, running down like this. Now there, the VIP, you will find somebody is sleeping like this. Sometimes if it's an elderly person, like, you know, we still have our culture, no matter what, Gambians still have respect and culture. Somebody who is elderly, they give him 1 of that. So you can lie on this thing.
But there's sponge there.
You have your own sponge.
Okay.
And sometimes, you have your own sponge. So that is the VIP. But that's for the elders.
Okay.
Now, in the other places where it's not the elders, it's just normal young people, 2 people will share that place. Now, how you share it, one person is like this, the other person is like this. Your leg is on this person's head. Yes. So you have to squeeze. You are touching each other. You are like this. You are like a couple. You are like this because if you don't do that, you will fall. That's how tight it is. It's so tight. Yeah? Now I got the welcome, which is the graveyard. Now the graveyard is the space in between. You go inside, you have to maneuver. It's like you have to maneuver to enter.
To enter.
Yes. Now you enter in there, and then the guy told me, you put your head in the corner. So when I was there, me and another guy who had just come in, we were lying there, and there was a little bit of space, but it was so hot because the fan is this way, and he intentionally told me to put my head this way because the fan is this way. So somebody else comes and they turn their head that way because of this is everybody knows that's how you sleep. One person sleeps like this, the other person sleeps like this. This is so that you can fit. Because when you put your head, it's kind of difficult. So when I was under there, my head was down. Sweat started falling, coming into my eyes. It was just the 2 of us. At the beginning, I said, oh, it's not too bad because it was just the 2 of us. And then 3, 4, 5, 6 of us
in a room.
In that place. You know,
Graveyard.
it says that's the graveyard. That's why they call it the graveyard. 6 of us. By the time 6 of us was there, but before even the 6 it was so hot. I told them, my brother, I'm turning my head the other way so that I can enjoy the fan. So I turned my head, and then I was lying down that way. Even that one, sir, somebody wanted to start complaining. Because of the reason why he told me that, he now had to put his head, because of he was coming in, he now had to put his head under in that place where the fan is not coming and the place is hot. So now we were all sandwiched like that. You cannot lie down like this.
You always have to be like this.
You lie down until now my shoulder, I'm in serious pain. You lie down on your shoulder, and then we are packed like sardine, like you cannot move. You cannot move. It's so packed. Fatou, I swear down, I cannot explain this with words. I'm going to start drawing. I used to draw before.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm going to start bringing out some of these sketches to show Gambians to see what was happening. We were packed in this place like this. After a while, I couldn't resist it. I had to get out. The first time I tried to get out, I couldn't. Because even though 6 of us are like this, another person is under you, and they are this way. So they are stopping anybody from going out. And then there is a plank on top of you. So if you want to lift your head, you're going to hit your head on the plank. So the only way for you to come out is you have to do some sort of maneuverings because of, like, your leg is here, and then there's one plank and another plank, and your head is like on this side. So you have to do some maneuverings, and there's somebody lying down, and if that person's leg is this, they shut you in. The only way you can come out is in between another space where there's a space. You have to try to do some super maneuverings to get out of there. So now I was lying there. The first time I tried to get out, I couldn't get out. I was stuck in that place. Then somebody else, one person who was lying down the other way, he moved his leg a little bit like this. As soon as I saw that chance leg Fatou, I took it straight away. I came out of that place. As I came out of that place, then I was sat watching TV, because the TV is on 24/7.
Yeah.
I was sat there watching TV. Then one very good Samaritan, he has been there. You see, the people who have been there, they have now claimed their beds.
Okay.
Yes, they have their own, like they are on the VIP. Yeah, or down there is you can put some mats and lie down there.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are considered VIP. This guy took pity on me. Very young guy, I got to find out he's underage. Yeah, very young guy. Took pity on me. After sleeping for some while, he said, oh, please come and sleep there. That's when I went and I slept there. This is what we are going through. The moment you open the gates to enter, the first thing that greets you is flies. It's like there is a manufacturing plant of flies in that place. And this manufacturing plant, I got to find out, is caused by what? The food is so bad. Half of the food is not eaten in mile 2. By the time they close us, so basically, you are closed in there from 3 in the afternoon to 8 in the morning.
The next day.
The next day. From 8 to 12, you are freed, right? From 12 to 2, you are back inside under the heat. And the first day, on Tuesday, when we had to go back 12 to 2, there was no light. It was hell. All 26 of us in there, boiling. And then from 2 to 3 again, they let you out, and then they put you in. By that time, they would have organized lunch and given the food. So now, this food, half of it, in the morning, they don't eat it. The food is bad. The only people who eat it is those people who have been there for so long, they don't have any chance. People are not coming to visit them. They don't have access to any food. And you know what? They just eat small to survive. Because they know that this food is doing so. They tell you, you see, our bodies, when you eat this food for too long, if you put your hand like this, they show you, they say you will leave a mark in the body. And then there's this very thing, they say that it comes up, and if it reaches to your top here, they say, this is what they say, you are finished. So most of the youths there, you'll see.
The same thing that the TRRC, these guys were saying at the TRRC.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
So what the youths do there, because they know that this food is so harmful, they don't eat much of it. Most of it is thrown. Now there's a big waste bin. As soon as they wake up in the morning, the first things they do is they throw this food. They throw this food in there, and then the flies, that's the manufacturing plant I was talking about. That's why that place is, we are wasting money. That place, you see flies everywhere. Even if you brought good food in, and you leave it around that place for 10 minutes, wallahi, it will contaminate, if you are not there to fan off the flies. Fatou, if you want to talk about mile 2, no,
indirectly, it's a blessing that
program.
you as a journalist went in there.
Yeah, but
God works in mysterious ways.
It was shocking.
Because you know, the TRRC had told us all of this, and the government promised us the reforms. They've promised us change to conditions of mile 2 to change. But you are telling us none of those has changed.
Nothing.
Because this berry is what they were complaining. They were calling the food water.
Water is all terrible food.
And all of that, but you are still saying all of these things.
It's still there. And Fatou, you know, the TRRC recommended the closure of mile 2 located. But as he was talking, I remember Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in Robben Island.
Yeah.
He said something, if you want to truly know a nation, look inside its prisons. And said, if you are going to judge a nation, don't judge it by how it treats its highest citizens. Judge it by how it treats its lowest. So what Flex is saying, which I also saw when I visited it in 2017 or 18 as part of the prisons committee. And of course, following mile 2 amnesty reports and other reports by people who have been put there, people like Amadou Skater-Jane have talked about mile 2. And Hussein Dabo, Halifa Salah, and a lot of our parliament who all went there talked about mile 2, and officials who talked about mile 2. I feel guilty, because it reflects on on me as a citizen, as a human being, in whose name and by whose resources and by whose authority that has created mile 2. Because mile 2 is a public institution. We create it. We created it. So you are responsible for what is in mile 2. I am responsible for what is in mile 2. You are responsible for what is in mile 2. So I feel guilty right now. I feel ashamed. And I feel angry that this is a place we have created and we put fellow citizens, fellow human beings there and treat them less than animals. I think every citizen, every government should be furious that this is the state of mile 2. And, you know, as I said, these are, because since the case of Killer is his hair being cut there, and, you know, now you are saying this, confirming all this, and the others we've talked to since yesterday, these are all part of things we will raise in our report. Indeed. And it is a shame that we have entire ministry, we have an entire government responsible for the mile 2, and we neglect them, treating our fellow human beings as subhuman beings. I mean, you know, like that, like less than animals. I think every government should feel ashamed, should feel angry, should feel guilty that mile 2 exists on this land. And the same conditions are what you have in Joshua or in Janjambure.
Yeah.
So that also tells you what kind of leaders, what kind of public officials we have in this country. Because mile 2 is manned by public officials who go there every day and see what is happening, both at the strategic level, at the operational level, at the administrative level. You see what is happening there. Yet we maintain mile 2 as it is. So it tells you what needs to be corrected in this country.
Indeed.
Yes, this country is messed up. It needs to be corrected.
Indeed. Fatou, I must add, this is one of the reasons why I protested. I know that if I protest, people will want to know, why is Flexdan going on hunger strike? I did not go on hunger strike for people to just to just gain cheap popularity.
No.
I went to hunger strike because of, first of all, I believe that I was sent to mile 2 when I was never convicted. You cannot punish me for something that I have not even convicted me on. And you cannot put me in an inhumane and degrading environment. And now I'm going to use that to tell people to know what is happening in there. Mile 2, in our cell, you have a piss pot. It's a pot, you take a piss in. There is a small blind, which you put like this. In front of everyone, you come, you stand there, you take the blind, you cover like this, you take a piss. As you are taking a piss, the stench that is coming out of there is... I said I'm going on hunger strike because I don't want to use the toilet in that disgusting environment. It's not fit for human beings. And I want to reduce the amount of waste that I am passing through my body. When I went there, for 2 days, 2.5 days, I never used the toilet. I only passed fluid, urinated, because I was drinking. The conditions are so horrible. If you want to, remember, they lock you up from 3 to 8 in the morning. If you want to use the number 2, right, there's another pot there. But nobody I know, I've not seen anybody use the toilet. Because why? It's so embarrassing, and everybody, 26 people, when we sit down, it's like, I don't know if you have ever been to one of these cinemas, local cinemas, where you are watching football or something like that. It's like, that's how the people are. That's how 26 people in a small space. That's the best explanation I can give us to, so that you can see how many people. Imagine, and the TV is there, and right up above the TV, below is where the piss pot and the toilet place is. So if you have to take a piss or use the toilet, that's where you're going to do it. The only privacy you have is one small blind, right? Nobody dares use the toilet because one, is so embarrassing to you, and then secondly, you're just going to make the place even more filthy and stunk up. So it's like they are not treating people like human beings in that place.
Wow, that's crazy.
Honestly, it's a calamity, a disaster. You know, this government, from now on, Madi, this government has to build a new prison.
We have to, you know, when you speak about mile 2, it reminds me about we have to start advocating for injustice in those, because I remember one time, and I said to myself, I was going to say this, at least people can know, because there was this time I remember Aisha Fati, I was talking to her sister, because her sister is my friend, and she told me, oh, I said, dafa dem mile too, because you know, dafa nit ñoo xamne, the magistrates, they fine them 5,000, somebody is fined 3,000, somebody is fined 10,000, they cannot pay it, because they cannot pay those small fines, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, they are in mile two, right? For years, young people.
Yeah.
So people go there, but a lot of us don't know this.
You see?
So some people will just go there and say, and go to the guards and tell them their registers who's supposed to pay fines, and you will find a lot of people.
Yes.
I remember she paid 100 and something thousand, and a lot of people were released based, those things.
We need to do that. And the young and the underage people.
Those things. A lot of women are there who are young women, some first-time offenders. People go to mile two for stealing, like something more less than 5,000.
Yes, like a sheep or a cow or a goat,
like
chicken.
Yeah.
Wallahi.
Every time you see the police say, people, sunya, TV sunya, mobile sunya, they send them to mile two. But we have audit reports. We have billions missing. And the government tells us, well, this is a democracy. We have to go through the procedure. We have to go to court. But those people can still be walking free.
Exactly. So part of this is the injustice Omar talked about. And Flex made a point here. He said the judges who send people to mile two should go there and see before they send people to mile two.
Wallahi.
So you see, you can see injustice at all levels, because the judges should, the judiciary, they should know the situation in the prisons where they send people. It's a matter of justice that they don't send people to inhuman and degrading conditions. But is our judiciary paying attention to that? The police should know. They should not send people into degrading and inhuman conditions. And the police are making people be sent to remand all the time. But the Ministry of Interior, the Prisons Department, have a responsibility to make sure people are not sent to inhuman and degrading conditions. And the budget is, they have the resources to make sure that happens. And they fail to equip our prisons so that they are in conditions that are fit for human habitation. And as Fatou just said, why they are sending these poor people, these disadvantaged youths, underprivileged youths, because they've been denied opportunities, because public officers are plundered. Public resources that should have gone to provide these citizens with the opportunities, those people are now sent there, but those ministers, those directors, those permanent secretaries, and so on, can plunder our resources and nothing happens.
And when they send them, you know what they say? The one person who was caught for corruption, when they sent him to jail, what did they say? Oh, their health condition. So they let them off free. So for them, it's fine. You know how many people are there with health conditions? And Madi, you talked about something which is very important. Madi, I saw that they were constructing a building. And the inmates, the convicts, some of them with hard labor, were busy making blocks and building this thing. And I said, oh, is that a new cells or something?
I saw it.
But when I asked, you know what they told me? Those are classrooms or offices. Madi, we don't have any priorities in this country considered straight. How can you do that when you know that these people are suffering?
The remand is there.
The remand is there.
For me, you can easily have expanded the remand, and remand should not be in prison, in a prison.
You see?
Because that's also about international standards. It should not be in prison. It should be separate, because a remand is a holding place before one is convicted. One is innocent since you are there. You are just being held there to be able to go to court and come back. So you should not be within a prison. All the separation has to be done. So, Fatou, what is happening in this country is we are living with injustice, and and normalized by people who have responsibility to make sure there is justice. This is all corruption. And the time has come for Gambians to to have courage, to have honesty, to have the patriotism, all right, to practice what they preach. If we claim we are good Muslims and Christians, if we claim that we governments are good people, let us be good and demand our country is good. That our government makes sure there is goodness in this country. But the conditions in Mile 2, every government should be ashamed and guilty that this is what you have allowed to operate in this country. You even go to the police stations. You look at the cells. They are like the animal cages.
Yes,
that you have in our police stations, that human beings are put into cages. And anybody put in a police cell, in fact, you are not convicted. You are just a suspect.
Madi, please, I must say this. SAR and some of these officers use these institutions because of they know how nasty and deplorable it is to torture our citizens. And they did that. When SAR brought Ghetto Pen, Ibrahim Sanyang, I believe, right?
Keita.
Yes.
Musa Sanyang.
Musa Sanyang, sorry. And the others.
Ibrahim Keita.
And the others, the 4 of them. And I told you he was being very, very arrogant. You know what he did? He pushed them, he forced them into the nasty cells, which nobody goes into those cells. People stay in the Karaba station. There is a jail where normally sometimes the pictures that are exposed, that's where you see we are there. And if you just open the door, there is a toilet inside and there are two cells. Now those cells is for people who they want to confine them. When they are getting very, maybe you have a very violent criminal, right? And you want to confine them, and that has to be put in a good place. But they have left that place nasty and disgusting. You know what SAR did when he brought those guys there? That's Ghetto Pen, Musa Sanyang, and the rest of them. He forced them inside that nasty cell. Because of people sometimes go there and they will just defecate or they will just take the piss there. So that place, we didn't go there. We stayed in the jail, right? But they put Ghetto Pen and those guys, they put them in there. That's torture. That's inhumane treatment, and he knows what he is doing. They put them there for a few hours, and then they left them to come back in the normal place. This is what our police officers are doing. They are weaponizing these spaces, the nastiness of these spaces, to infringe mental and physical, because of this thing is going into your, you know, you can't catch any kind of diseases.
That is why we say they are political prisoners. And I see, you know, when we say that people would know, but you know, what is political prisoner? I mean, arguing about that. But just listen to this.
This is
what crime have you committed?
Nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
Just to demand accountability, demand efficiency, to stand against corruption, to stand against injustice, to voice it out, and stand in a public place and you get arrested, and then, you know, laws and weaponized to punish you in that manner. Now, any Gambian who has any iota of decency in you, any, you know, you should be furious and be ready to stand from today to make sure that justice prevails in this country, to demand President Barrow hold his oath and make sure justice and goodness prevail in this country throughout our institutions. What you are saying, this is injustice. This is abuse of power. This is total disregard of the law. And this is the culture that we have been living in this country for the past 60 years. And it has to stop. And this is why Team Gomsabopa and Gala are so significant. And this is not going to stop by some workshop at the Karaba Beach Hotel.
No.
This is not going to stop by some seminar at Tendaba Camp.
No.
This is not going to stop by some report written by the National Human Rights Commission, because they have written reports, made recommendations, and they ignore them. Yeah. So this is not going to, that's not going to stop because, I mean, Tango or the Bar Association or, you know, I mean, our CSOs have organized some meeting at Sarawak Karabaja International. We've done that. The time has come for our people to be serious, to say, look, this has to stop. Because it is not as if the capacity is not there. Or the resources are not there. Or they don't know. What everything you are saying here, the IGPC, the knows it. The Attorney General Daura Jallo knows it. In 2017, when Batambedu was Minister of Justice and Ahmed Maifati were the Minister of Interior, they went to visit Mile 2. and they lamented the conditions in Mile 2.
Until now.
But they spent their entire time as ministers and they never did anything to solve this place. All right? The Minister of Interior, Mr. Abdullah Sanyang, who was a career police officer until IGP, knows what is in Mile 2.
Yeah.
And now you are at the highest policy making body for Mile 2 and you sit there and neglect it. I mean, that is unconscionable. And this is the problem of our public officials. Their lack of conscience, their lack of patriotism, their lack of, regard for the dignity of Gambians.
Yeah.
I mean, this is despicable.
Madi,
This is what we need to deal with.
Demolish. Mile 2 must be demolished, brought down to the ground, and risen up again.
The reason why they sent you guys there is to break you, is to break your spirit.
Exactly.
Intimidation tactics to get you scared. I say this, when they cancel your contracts, when they tell these businessmen don't do business with them because they're opposition, when they say this public servant, they are opposition, take them out. It is all to intimidate you, to get you scared.
Indeed.
But they don't know that emboldens you.
Yeah, so to that, when we were released, I said this on my platform that anytime you arrest us, you automatically born a fighter that will never relent. Thank you. Anytime because I remember at Karaba, we were 5 or 6, but there I think I was the only one with Saibu that ever tested a police cell.
Yeah.
All of them were never in the police cell. But when I was singing with them, you can see the passion that they want to continue the fight.
Yeah.
So every day they are on my DM to talk to me about the whole thing. So I said, okay. So it's like, okay, I was first arrested before I get the courage to not be scared again to be arrested or whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they created or they born a new fighter that will never relent. So they were arrested. They are now also part of the struggle.
Yes.
And they will never relent.
Indeed.
So arresting, to some extent, okay, you can arrest us and put us behind bars.
Yeah.
But you can never stop us from fighting. Anywhere or anytime we are released, we are going to continue from where we stopped. So
And even when we are held in detention, we said we are going to protest. When I started the hunger strike, people were my close friends, Killers. Let me see, they thought that I was despondent, that's why. But I was not despondent. Everybody was saying, no, don't do the hunger strike. You've been the one encouraging us. You've been the one giving us courage. You cannot, give up now. So I told him, no, don't worry. I'm not giving up.
It's a way of protest.
I told them, look, these people brought us here because they think that they're going to silence us whilst we are in jail in Mile 2. Now I'm going to do something that is going to make this even louder.
Yeah.
For them to know that, look, we are not going to take this line down. And if anything happens to any of us here, our blood will be on your hands. Yeah. And before you know it, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us started doing the hunger strike. By the time we were out, 5 of us had not eaten for over 48 hours. 48 hours not eaten. Because we believe that, we are not going to lie down. You can even put us in Mile 2. That's not going to stop us. This country is our country. For us, our children, for all of us, and those yet unborn. And for them, we will give our last breath if we must.
We will give our last breath if we must. And that should bring the end of our conversation. And this conversation must continue, Madi, because this is just a new beginning. Because I think, just like, he said, a new Gambian has to emerge. You have always said this. A new Gambian has to emerge. People taking ownership of our country. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
I think the goal should be, how do we empower these organizations?
Yeah.
How do we empower them, give them support, make sure they don't have to worry about the logistics. They do the dirty job, and we behind provide the support. Yeah. And I saw somewhere somebody say, oh, Ghana did not get a same list of people who fund them. Well,
Thank you.
I'm going to be a part of the funders
Yes,
now.
yes.
Because
That would be
nobody
a
should
proud
be
list,
ashamed.
huh?
Nobody should be ashamed of funding guys.
Yes, everybody should be proud.
Because they are doing a good cause. They're doing
Indeed.
it for Gambia.
Yes.
So I think that is something that we should all look at, and I think, you know, I'm directing
We
people
can go on for hours on this program.
and
huh?
we have to do this. We have to do this. Go back and forth. But I just want to direct people to Tukulorsi's page, Juka's page for this fundraiser. I saw the flyer. We will share it on Kerr Fatou after this show. Let's support these organizations. Let's empower them. Let's let them do the job on the ground, and let's provide the support. That's the least we can do. And I think that on that note, I want to say, what is your final message, Omar, to the viewers who are watching?
All power,
Yeah.
all power belongs to the people. People are the owners of power, and no one should intimidate us. We own power, let's exercise it.
Yeah. Madi?
That sovereign citizen to emphasize and, you know, to remind Gambians to realize what is citizenship.
Yeah.
And to stand for justice and a corrupt-free society, as Omar said. And to end up, I just want government to reflect on this. Since 2017, if anything the government has succeeded in doing is to build new millionaires, creating oligarchs out of public funds, giving individuals and companies contracts, government contracts, even when they do not have experience in that area. So our country has been hijacked by corrupt officials and these oligarchs. This is state capture. And in any democracy, it is the greatest threat that we need to stand against.
Yeah.
But provided we realize our responsibility and duty and our rights as citizens to defend this republic and the constitution that we have been suffering for 60 years for no reason other than the fact that we have elected and appointed public officials who plunder our resources, you know, hijack our power, misuse our power, and then weaponize laws and institutions against citizens only to subject us into deeper poverty and deprivation as we have been suffering as always. The time has come for Gambians to say this has to stop. Yes, because after all, these public officials, we are pampering them. We are providing all the resources for their comfort. What is required is they deliver according to law. They perform according to law to create the opportunities and the freedom and the security that we need for shared prosperity to spread across Gambians for all Gambians. I want Gambians to bear this in mind.
Very important, very powerful.
Thank you so much, Fatou. I want to thank all Gambians who have been with us. We cannot do this alone, like you've said. To be honest, bad things happen when good people stand by and just watch.
Yeah.
All of us need to have the Gumsa Bopa state of mind.
Yep.
Believe in yourself.
Thank you.
For us to take control of this country. On the 4th, we are expected to be going to court. In that regard, I call on the IGP to listen to the National Human Rights Commission statement and drop all charges against us. These are bogus charges. Let them make sure they demonstrate that security sector reform is actually working in this country. I really hope that all of you join us. Come to the courthouse on the 4th. Of September, is the next court date. If there are any changes, because there have been some talk about it might be on a holiday, so I don't know whether that might change. But for now, that's what we know. Let's all keep the momentum going and continue to demand. Let PURA bring down this price floor. Hopefully, when they do that, we have many, many, many things to deal with in this country. Mile 2 is clearly one of them. My condolences to everybody incarcerated in Mile 2. We are still with you, and we haven't forgotten. And I call on all Gambians to join us so that we can make Mile 2 a better place for those who are there. Thank you so much, Fatou.
Thank you so much. I think it's important for us to cast some light on Mile 2. And if you're a Gambian who was fortunate with some cash, just go to the Mile 2 administration. There are people there who have fined 5,000, 3,000, 10,000. They're languishing in jail because they cannot pay those fines, and they have not done anything. These are petty thieves, people who steal just mobile phones or televisions, and they are kept there. When the real corrupt people are walking,
I'm telling you,
driving our 12 million or 10 million, 5 million cars. I think, please, let's all, is very important. And thank you guys for what you're doing for this country. I mean, I think every Gambian in all aspects respects and appreciate what you're doing, because in every country, the young people must hold government responsible. They are the future leaders. They shape the direction.
No, they are the leaders of today. They want to do away with this
and tomorrow.
Exactly.
Today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow.
They should make their voice heard. And this is a revolution. It's not like taking over any government, but making sure our people are enlightened.
A revolution of hearts and minds.
The people, the Gambian must understand that they own this country.
Yes.
And come I mean kana karte karafale, motante karte. Nima ke kumbatale bul. That's why we vote for you.
Indeed.
And Madi always say it. People don't like those terms. And I mean, we appreciate our house help. They do a fantastic job.
Indeed.
And we don't demean them.
No.
That's why we cannot demean anybody who's in our public service. But if you are stealing our money,
Yes.
we will call you out.
Without a
and I
doubt.
think the youths are doing an amazing job. Thank you so much for what you do for all of us. And when you were kept in prison, honestly, the whole Gambia was crazy. Everybody was just crazy.
Yeah.
And I think that only shows how much people appreciate what you guys were doing. Thank you for everything. My Uncle Madi always leading the way for us. We appreciate you all the time.
May I have leaders now?
Yes, now they're taking them on, you know, for which
I used to say I have no leader in the Gambia, but now I have leaders.
Leaders, but
Team Kamsapopa and Gala, they are
they're doing
leaders.
an amazing
For the
job.
constant mentoring.
Whenever they call, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm behind them.
and thank you for the mentoring. It gives us all hope. When Madi speaks, we're like, okay, Madi there. You know, you need that person.
Indeed.
And that person is Madi.
Reference point.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. And good night to you all, to my team and everyone. Good night to you all. See you again next week. Bye-bye. Thank you. Are we gone?
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital, while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, Mobile app? Check. Online banking? Check. Transaction alerts? Check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment? Yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various courses. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been,